It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
Yep, Charlamagne the guy.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and we got some church announcements.
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes, we do have church announcements.
Talk to me.
The announcements are a very important part of what we do in church.
Fourth show for the special, April 12th, Easter Sunday, LA. Still some tickets left, going very fast. Few left on the balcony. Go get them. TheAndrewSchultz.com. Tempe this weekend, sold out. Thank you. After that, I'm in Hawaii. 2 shows. Blue Note, Honolulu. Some tickets left. Go get them, Hawaii. There's a radio personality out there that is a huge fan of yours.
In Hawaii?
Yeah, huge fan of yours.
Well, he should be.
And
all right. Thank you. What's his name? You know?
Her name.
Her name.
Yeah,
What's her name?
I don't know. I forgot. But
salute
she
to you.
listens.
Damn, I wish I knew her name. I could shout her out.
She asked me to say hello and shout you out.
If I Google Hawaii radio personalities, you think it might come up?
Yeah, I think it's Moana.
Well, let me see. Let me see. Hawaii. You know the name of the station?
I don't know.
Hawaii.
101.11.
How'd you meet her? How do you?
She DM'd me.
Look at the DM, Andrew.
I get a lot of DMs.
Okay? Does your girlfriend know about this? Damn, man. I wish I knew her name. She's
quite infuriated by it. Okay? Sometimes she's like, why are you looking at the DMs that don't even show up?
Well, listen, Hawaiian radio.
The secret DMs, the ones that like Instagram's trying to keep away from you?
Yeah.
I be in those.
Listen, the Hawaiian radio personality, whoever you are, I appreciate you. And hit Andrew or hit me so I can shout you out on the next podcast.
Yo,
okay?
We're going to get that. TheAndrewSchultz.com. More cities. We're coming back. We got, just a bunch. I know we're in Jersey, Pittsburgh, Orlando, Miami, Virginia, Charlotte. More shows at TheAndrewSchultz.com. Get those tickets. And again, get them early because what always happens is we come to the market and then you guys are buying these tickets. It's insane, the resale.
Yes.
People are buying $700 resale tickets in Atlanta. So your friend owes me $1,400. Okay. We put them down. We gave. So just get them early.
Yeah.
Just this. I'm telling you right now. I'm warning you right now. They're going to
Hezzy
sell
is hot out
so you
here,
get them
son.
early. Things are good.
Hezzy hot out here.
Things are good.
Now fuck all that things are good shit. You hot out here.
I'm the greatest.
That's right.
I'm the greatest
What's
of all
wrong with
time.
that?
I just
What's
realized
wrong with
it.
feeling
I'm
like
the
that?
greatest of all
Come
time.
on, man. Mamba
Okay?
mentality, goddammit.
Let's fucking go. Okay?
The fuck?
Holy shit.
Now listen,
I'm not playing around.
It's two things.
Fix up, look sharp.
That's right. It's two things I definitely want to address. We're definitely going to talk about Kobe Jelly Bean Bryant.
Yes.
But I want to talk about this shit seems so old now, and this is how I know nobody really gives a fuck about anything.
Go.
Like nobody really gives a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
Like this shit comes and goes so quickly.
What is that?
Right? Last week it was hysteria over Joe Rogan saying he would vote for Bernie Sanders. I was in where was I at? I was in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yep.
On Friday morning, I believe, and it was the number 2 trending topic. It was like 60,000 tweets. You know when something like that happens, when you wake up in the morning, and you see somebody trending, you're like, what the fuck happened to Joe Rogan? I click on it, and I'm like, people are upset because Bernie reposted Joe
saying that he would vote for him in the primary. In the primary.
My first thought, I was like, okay, I have to. First of all, I already knew it was some political bullshit.
Course. But break it down how it works, because people don't know how the political system works.
It's political bullshit. It could be, and listen, by the way, it could be Elizabeth Warren's team. It could be Mayor Pete's team. It could be Joe Biden's team. We don't know whose team
Biden
it
or
could
Warren.
be.
It's Warren or Biden.
It could be either of these people, right? And they're all stirring up shit. They start digging up old shit that Joe Rogan has said. Oh, Joe Rogan said something transphobic. Oh, Joe Rogan
Do you know what they said?
something racist.
You know what they said that he said
exactly
was
what it
transphobic?
was.
Can we get into that?
Yes.
Okay. He said there was Fallon Fox was a UFC or a MMA fighter who was a man who transitioned into a woman and didn't tell anyone and is going into the ring breaking women's skulls because men are stronger than women. Sorry to break it to you, ladies.
I did hear she lost one fight, though.
Huh?
I did hear she lost one fight.
Who's that bitch?
I don't call women bitches.
Well, I call that one. I don't know, because that girl could fucking throw down.
I could be just making that up.
Huh?
But I do know she was fucking women up. That I know.
Fucking women up.
Yes.
Like literally fracturing their skulls.
Yes.
Okay? And he's like, I don't think that's fair. You know why?
Duh.
Because it's not fair.
I'm sure we've had that conversation here on Brilliant Idiots. May not have may have stayed on the cutting room floor. I'm sure.
You think it didn't make it to the full episode?
But I'm not sure. I don't know anymore.
Listen.
I don't leave it up to me and you anymore.
Bro, it's just,
Okay, so I don't know if it did or not. But I remember us having that conversation, and I'm like, look, everybody can identify whatever you want to identify as. But come on, guys.
yeah.
Come on, man. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Let's pump the brakes.
Men
Pump
that
the
are
brakes.
transitioning into women, or that have transitioned into women, should not be doing physical fighting activities with naturally born women,
We
cisgender, whatever you
find
want to call them.
it wrong for people that have the advantages men have to beat up women. I will say that and feel confident.
Yes.
I don't want women to get beat up by people born as men.
And by the way, I'm not even going to call them men. I'm just going to say, I just don't think a trans woman should be fighting a cisgendered woman.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
And when you see cisgender women getting their skulls cracked,
Yes.
then that tells you there's an unfair advantage somewhere.
Yes.
So that's what Joe Rogan was being called transphobic for. Now, I don't know if he was using the right verbiage and right language, because I can't even keep up anymore. You know what I mean?
I spoke to him. He was.
The clip I saw him talking about that one specific human,
Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox. Yeah.
And he said he was upset about her. And he was like, she is a man and she's beating women up and yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's worth a discussion.
Yes.
I don't think that's enough to label somebody transphobic.
Yes.
Now, the Planet of the Apes shit, Joe, you on your own with that one. All right?
Right. Well, here's the thing with the ape thing.
Mm-hmm.
He calls himself an ape all the time.
Yeah, but he's not black.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you refer to people as that who are just huge and strong.
No, that's not what he was doing. And you know why? I'm gonna tell you why I'll shoot Joe Rogan a bail on that, even though I can't defend that. He said in the moment, in real time, no, that's wrong. That's racist. He said it.
Oh, he corrected in real time.
In real time.
So then what are we talking about?
On that clip from years ago, he goes, look, they dropped me off in this black neighborhood. He said, I didn't know it was a black neighborhood. I thought I was going to see Planet of the Apes. I ended up going to watch it with the Planet of the Apes or some shit like that. I forgot exactly what the exact quote was. But in real time, he corrected himself. He was like, yo, I'm not going to say that. That's racist.
He's going for a joke. He realizes it's not as funny as it needs to be for how fucked up it is. And then he corrects it.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay, now boom. Those are the two things I saw people going at him at, and him using the N-word.
And we're talking 10 years ago with that, right? We're
talking
talking
about
a long
time ago. Yeah. I mean, he's talking about Planet of the Apes. That shit had to be like a decade ago.
Yes.
You don't even doing the Rogan podcast for 10 years.
Yeah.
But even with the his use of the N-word. Look, I've been said it. I don't think white people should use the N-word, but we have to acknowledge that there was a period where there was a lot of white comics using the N-word.
Right.
Whether it was Louis C.K., whether it was Neil Brennan, whether it was Joe Rogan, like it was a thing. Like you can go. I don't know why it was a thing, and it wasn't like they were saying my N-word, or
no, they were talking about the word.
They would, yes, it's jokes revolving around the word. Right. I don't know why Joe Rogan was saying it, because all I saw was the compilation where they were just like, nigga, and that shit sounded like YG song. So I don't know why. I don't know why he was saying it, but I do know this. This is what I do know. I've listened to enough Joe Rogan to know that Joe Rogan don't sway either way. I've seen Joe Rogan, get upset because people call him alt-right, and he don't know where that shit is coming from.
He is a liberal guy.
I don't even know if he's
Democrat.
liberal.
I do.
2016?
I do because I speak to him, and this is what he tells me.
Well, I know for a fact he's never voted conservative, ever.
Right.
But in 2016, he endorsed Gary Johnson, who was a fucking libertarian. So I don't know where Joe Rogan falls on the political spectrum. I
can tell you.
I don't know where he leans.
Tells you where. Every single episode.
When I hear him, I just hear a guy who's curious about life.
It's me. Everybody on.
Everybody.
He has everybody. He has conservatives. He has liberals. He has pro-Israel, anti-Israel. CNN would never have that on, by the way. So he has every part of the spectrum on that show. Yeah. It is the most intellectually, racially, politically diverse show on the planet, hands down.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with who he is. What this has to do is elites have politicians and they have PR engines, and by PR engine, I mean CNN or one of these television shows. Now, we've said it for years about the conservatives with Fox News. Mm-hmm. They don't even masquerade like they're not. Fox News we're the right-wing channel.
Yes.
CNN lies and acts like they're just
moderate, middle ground.
No, you're not. You are the left-wing outlet of the political, or actually of the elites that use politicians to get their shit through. Mm-hmm. So, Bernie Sanders, say what you want about him, is uncorruptible. Bernie Sanders is going to do what the fuck he wants to do, and that's it. The people that are the elites that like to use the politicians as puppets, they don't like that. What do you mean you're not going to do what we tell you? We need somebody who is willing to do whatever it takes to win, which means whatever we tell you to do. I.e., Elizabeth Warren. Her whole career has been doing whatever it takes to win. I used to be a Republican. Now I'm a Democrat. I used to be Native American. Now I'm a white girl. I used to be this. Now, right? That's what she does. She
used
just
to be young.
flip-flops.
Now I'm old.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I guess that's how that works. I mean, one thing she didn't flip-flop on. Not a choice. Let's be old now. And Biden, of course, same exact part of a long political system. He'll do whatever it takes to win. He'll do what they tell him to do. CNN realizes, and those political elites and those elites realize that Joe Rogan has the most influential platform on the planet, and some of these states,
those hypothetical swing voters who probably voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012, but then turned around and voted for Trump. Those are the people, like even somebody like Joe. Joe endorsed Gary Johnson in 2016, but this year he's feeling Bernie. Those are the hypothetical swing voters that can swing elections. Those 2 to 3 million people that Nancy Pelosi wasn't trying to upset when she didn't want to impeach Trump initially, those are the people Joe Rogan is talking to.
And there are plenty of states we could talk about right now, I'm sure, that were decided by a few thousand votes. Okay? Now, when you have a podcast like Rogan's, it's getting hundreds of millions of downloads, right? Hundreds of, around the world. But here, and the podcast is centrist in nature because you have all these people from different walks of life coming in.
If you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, you cannot say they lean one way.
That's it. So now you have influence over those voters. If he says, I like Bernie, those people are going to potentially like Bernie, and they can sway an election. Now, the elites in this country do not want any one person that is not bought by a system to sway voters in a certain direction. They don't like independent thinkers having power. They don't like you having power. They do not like you having power. Matter of fact, they're probably infuriated by it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's like, when that happens, they go, we have to take away his power. Now, how can we take away his power? We can't shut down his platform, but we can discredit him. We can't make him radioactive.
Absolutely.
So that him supporting a candidate would make the candidate go, I actually shun that support.
I'm going to tell you why that will never work. It'll never work because the people who like Joe Rogan, all that shit y'all was rehashing, they heard it already.
They don't care. They listen to it.
They don't give a fuck.
And we know how bullshit CNN is. We know how bullshit Fox News. We know how bullshit all these news organizations are. We know that they're fake, right? Like, we know that they're here with a political objective to keep the status quo for the people that run them. That's all they're used for.
It was all political. None of that shit had anything to do with Joe Rogan, ladies and gentlemen. That shit had everything to do with somebody not liking Bernie Sanders. By the way, again. They about to set Bernie up again.
And you know who actually
the same way the DNC did him in 2016, they're going to try to do that shit to him again in 2020.
Because he's incorruptible.
If he picks up steam and it looks like he's about to be the nominee. I'm telling you it's going to happen.
They'll find a way to cheat him out. They'll use the super delegates like the Democrats do to literally strip our votes away. I am a registered Democrat. You are going to strip my fucking vote away with these stupid super delegates.
And why would you cannibalize yourself if you're a liberal? If you're a liberal, right, and you know how powerful Joe Rogan's platform is, and you know Joe Rogan can probably, not only sway those hypothetical swing voters, but sway maybe some conservatives too to say, you know what, maybe I will look into this Bernie guy. If you know that, why would you get in the way of that? Why would you cannibalize that momentum for Bernie Sanders?
Because those people don't care about party. They care about policy, right? All these like elites that are Democrat, they're not real Democrats. They don't really care about trans rights or gay rights or women's rights. They're just rich people that are on that side of the party, and they use these different hot button topics to manipulate people into voting, right? You think the rich white people that run the Democratic Party give a fuck about poor black people? They haven't done anything for poor black people for fucking the entire time the parties existed. So why would they start giving a fuck now? They just manipulate you to continue getting them elected so they can push the policies through that help them save money and resources. That's the whole fucking game.
Conservatives it's so weird that they're starting to promote like they give a fuck about black people.
Because I think on some level they're going, oh shit, black people are getting privy to the fact that Democrats actually don't really give a fuck about them.
Yeah, because if you look like even with Donald Trump's messaging of the African American unemployment is super low, and we've created more jobs for black and brown people, and the First Step Act. When you see that, and even the fact that at one point Donald Trump was running ads on Breakfast Club videos.
Yeah,
because you can't on YouTube, you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Like that's it's free. What do they call it? Free market? I don't know what the fuck they call it.
Dude, Donald Trump was running an ad on my video where as a joke I talk about him grabbing pussy. There were Trump ads being run on the video.
By the way, tell me though, Andrew. Listen,
believe it.
But no, what you said. Think about that, right?
Yeah.
And when I was with Mayor Pete in South Carolina last week, and Mayor Pete said something to the effect of, Republicans and Donald Trump will do anything that they have to do to stay in power. And it was in reference to me asking him about, closed door campaign fundraisers and, taking money from billionaires. And Pete doesn't have a problem with that. Because Pete was like, yo, just because somebody gives me their money don't mean I'm going to be beholden to them. And if they're going to give me their money and think that I'm going to be beholden to them, then they shouldn't give me their money. Right?
I like that.
Right? So he said that talking about Trump, and he was saying basically how Trump then will do whatever it is to stay in power. Now, with that said, Trump will put that video on your grab him by the pussy video. Why? Because he knows people is watching. He'll put the videos on Breakfast Club videos.
Because he knows
even if it's Democrats, it's usually on the presidential candidate interviews. If he knows Democrats on there talking shit about him, because he knows people is watching. Bernie Sanders knows Joe Rogan has an audience. Why not let people know Joe Rogan said he would vote for Bernie Sanders? Joe Rogan, this guy that endorsed the Libertarian in 2016. He likes to hunt. He likes all the conservative shit. But he said he would endorse Bernie Sanders. Why wouldn't you promote that? And why would you be mad at Bernie for promoting that? Who are these perfect people that y'all are out here seeking in America? Who are these people that say the right thing all the time, have never offended anyone, have never...
Don't exist. Don't exist.
That's not America.
Don't exist, but they use it as a tool to get you to obey them. They go, hey, you've got some fucked up shit in your past. We're going to talk about that unless you push this bill through, unless you take this policy, unless you whatever.
I used to say I'll talk about it first, but that means nothing. Trust me, I know.
We've learned the hard way.
No, you can talk about it first, but they don't give a fuck until they put their sauce on it.
That shit works in 8 Mile.
Your seasoning means nothing. All right? Okay, watch this seasoning I put on it. This is the dish everybody's going to eat, God damn it.
It is bullshit.
It's bullshit. It was whack.
It is, it's just annoying. I think Joe handled it the best way, which is just you keep on going, you keep on enjoying, you keep on doing your shows. And he's in this rare air where he actually has more influence than the companies that are shitting on him. So no matter what they say, he still is in there. He still is in the people's ears 4 days a week. And they're hearing his side of it, and they have way more trust in him than they do these traditional news sources because these news sources have lied so much and has been exposed. So they're like, all right, well, I'm going to ride with my guy.
Yeah, I don't like when I see headlines like when they say, oh, Joe Rogan has a history of making transphobic and racist comments. No. It should say Joe Rogan has made what can be perceived as transphobic and racist
debatable.
comments.
Even that's
the trans
debatable.
one is. He said himself that the Planet of the Apes was racist. So yes, you can say that, but don't say it's a history.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
history means that you do this constantly over and over and over and over. I don't like that shit at all. But it goes into our next thing I want to talk about. People really don't care. I was on the phone debating with Van about this Joe Rogan, this was my guy Van Lathan, about the Joe Rogan stuff. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. It was morning in LA. It was afternoon. I was in Atlantic City at my daughter's Chilean competition. I was in a hotel. I'm debating with Van about this. Get a text from Debbie Dev. Debbie Dev texts me and she goes, no, not Kobe. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, well, Kobe, I know he didn't get caught cheating again because black men don't cheat. So what the hell happened? And she sent me the link and I clicked on it. I go, yo, in the middle of the conversation, we was debating. I go, yo. He probably think I'm about to yell about some more Joe Rogan shit. I'm like, yo, they saying Kobe Bryant dead. Everything shifts.
Yeah.
Gone. What happened to the Joe Rogan burn shit? Gone. Bye. Everything. Energy. Everybody energy shifted. Yeah. Nobody really cares.
Just distraction.
And it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Because what's next after this? Think about it. I want y'all to remember these moments because you don't even have to go back that far. You can go back to Nipsey 10 months ago. Think about how everybody cares and everybody's like, oh, we love each other and, make sure you hug your people and tell them that you love them and this and that, yada, yada. What's gonna distract us from this?
Something.
It's only a matter of time.
Something.
After the funeral happens, it's only a matter of time. People really don't care like they say they care. And I'm not saying they don't care about Kobe. I'm just saying that we can be so easily distracted. I know y'all don't really give a fuck about the Joe Rogan shit.
Yeah.
That was just something for y'all to tweet about.
Yeah.
This is something that you actually truly do care about. But even this,
You will move on.
you will move on.
That's why I love when Duval would always go, what y'all fake caring about today?
Oof.
Because he realized it's fake care.
Well, even if you really care. Because, by the way, fake caring is the Joe Rogan shit.
Yeah.
Really caring is the Kobe shit.
Yeah.
But people will move on.
You see it on Facebook and Instagram. I used to time people. I used to see them change their profile picture to someone who passed, and then I'd count how many weeks until they changed it back, or how many days. And you're basically saying at that point, like, all right, we don't need to care that much that this person's dead anymore. It's more important that there's a picture of me on a beach.
You think they'll make it to the Super Bowl? You think the Super Bowl will shift the energy?
I think the Super Bowl will probably give some sort of homage to him. Because this is the biggest death in America, I think, since JFK.
Michael Jackson.
Nah, Michael Jackson was like weird and dead already, and he was on drugs, and he like looked...
Michael Jackson, bro.
He looked odd.
Michael Jackson.
I'm with you.
Michael Jackson.
My initial thing was Michael Jackson, but like Michael Jackson was just in such a state. He just put out like a bunch of like albums no one cared about. And while he was way more iconic than Kobe, Kobe was still in his prime and beloved, right? Matter of fact, Kobe was probably more beloved in his retirement than he was while he was playing.
Yeah, but still Michael, bro. Michael stopped the world. Like literally, Michael, like I watch, and I saw on Sunday, things stopped for Kobe. Like, but it was also Sunday.
Yeah.
So what would have happened on CNN if it was Monday coverage of the impeachment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On a Sunday, we just talking about all the old shit that happened the last week so we can break in with the Kobe stuff, yada, yada, yada. Because they went right back to regularly scheduled programming on Monday.
Right.
The Sports Network stayed on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think music, I was trying to debate, what's more universal, music or sports?
Music.
By far, right?
But it's not, nothing compares to music.
Michael Jackson sold 75 million records with Thriller, man.
There's no question.
There's
no question. He was past the stage of Michael Jackson.
I don't know. I thought that too until he died.
Really?
The world, June 25th, 2009.
Okay.
The world stopped.
I won't debate that one. I think it's close. But it was one of those deaths where it was like, he was such a profound part of everybody that was alive's life.
Second big, and listen, I don't even want to talk like that because it sounds stupid. I was going to say second most impactful I've seen, but man, I've never seen anything like that in sports. Because if there's one set of humans on the planet that seem indestructible, that seem like mythical creatures, right? Like that just seem larger than life, that you don't think things like this would happen to. Spanish women. It's athletes. Oh, athletes. Right? Especially somebody who's in the rare air that Kobe Bryant was in. This is God level basketball talent. Yeah. Like you're talking about in the history of the NBA.
No, you're right.
You're only really discussing 3 or 4 people with Kobe.
Yeah.
Magic.
Jordan.
Michael. I'll talk Bron now. Yeah. But Kobe was always my number 3, but behind Magic and Michael. Very rare air. And the tragedy of it, bro. I've never seen something that tragic. Now that's because and I hate to say it like this, man, but when you see somebody get shot, we've seen that. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And it's easier to wrap our head around. Yeah. Why somebody got shot. You know what I mean? Like, okay, somebody got shot, but when you see and you feel like you can avoid that, right? You get security, you get bulletproof, whatever it is. Like it's you don't go to the hood, whatever it is. You feel like it, but whatever it is. But when you see something like that, a helicopter crash with your daughter, when you're just doing your regular, everyday Sunday routine as a father, like I was literally out on Sunday doing extracurricular activities with my daughter. I was in Atlanta. Did I say extracurricular activities? No. Said activities. I did? You sure? I am 100% sure. Okay. Because I would be horrified if you said it any other way.
Here's what Brother Leonard is saying.
Yeah, so extracurricular activities. I was at my daughter's cheerleading competition in Atlantic City. Yeah. When I got that news, I had to sit down because I was having a panic attack.
Yeah, what did you go through as a father with young girls?
Well, I didn't know that his daughter died at first. I thought it was just him. So immediately, as a man, this just me as a man, I'm like, that is my worst nightmare. Something like that happening to me and me not being here for my family. Yeah. Like that's immediately where my mind went. Like, man, he's not going to be able to watch his kids grow up. I was thinking about his daughter that played basketball. I didn't know she died yet. Then these fucking dumbass. By the way, we really got to, I've been telling y'all this for years. Some Orson Welles War of the World shit is going to happen because of social media. How the fuck did y'all go from Rick Fox being dead to his 4 kids being dead? How did all of this happen in a matter of 30, 40 minutes? Now, the kids, I can understand your speculation about that. Why the fuck would Rick Fox be with Kobe Bryant
I don't
on a
understand
random
that.
Sunday morning?
I don't understand.
Does anybody wonder why Rick Fox died on Sunday?
Yeah.
So as a father, at first I was just like, damn, that's fucked up. He no longer here. But then when I found out his daughter died, I'm like, that's the 2 worst nightmares, right? The 2 worst nightmares is you not here for your kids or something happening to your kids.
Right.
And then I started thinking about the last moments in that helicopter, like,
Ay.
what do you do? What do you say?
So
your job is to
apparently-
protect and provide as a father. What do you do in that moment?
So apparently, I was at this Patrice O'Neill benefit, rest in peace, the GOAT, man, and that they do every year. And Bill Burr was performing, and Bill Burr does a lot of helicopter flying himself. And you're familiar with the comedian Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so I asked him about it, and he actually knew the air traffic control guy that was talking to the pilot of the thing. And he basically broke down how they flew. And he said the pilot should have never taken them in there. Not even taken off, never taken them into that basin because there was all this fog in this valley. So you come right over a mountain and then the whole underneath the mountain is this valley all covered in fog.
They say he couldn't see.
So they couldn't
He
see
was blinded by the fog.
couldn't see anything. And
And they said he was too low that the air traffic controllers didn't have him on the radar to tell him the direction.
100%.
Yeah.
And then so apparently what happened is they were going 185 miles per hour and they just went right into the side of the mountain. So it wasn't like propellers are out, you know you're going to die and you're holding your baby girl in your arms trying to keep her, calm while she's on her way to her death. It was instant.
I hope so, man.
Which is
know
the
that
best
sounds-
case scenario
Yes, man.
of the
Yes,
worst
man.
case, right?
Yes, man. Because I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I hope they didn't burn up in the hell. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
God damn, yo.
Yeah.
And when I heard that they recovered all the bodies, that made me feel better too, because that let me know that, maybe it was instant, and maybe they did just
Can I
crash
ask you a
and die.
question? What is our fascination with the body? Like I've seen this a lot. Like, these people were lost and they were never found, or something like that, and then the bodies were never recovered, or
Closure.
so we don't believe that someone's dead
Closure.
until the body is dead.
I think it's closure. I think it's closure, and also you don't want to just think that, because you love this person, right? Like,
Yeah.
like we're spirits. We're all spirits, right?
Yeah.
In a human existence, but there's somebody out there that loves your human existence.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that loves your nose. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm serious. Like, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna find her.
I'm
gonna find her,
like,
bro.
my wife
There's
loves.
a lot to
my
love.
wife loved me in my discoloration. She loved me when I scraped the toes. You know what I'm saying? So.
When you scraped the toast, when you got rid of your
So
yo, you are stupid, bro.
so you don't want to think that this body is just out there. You know what I mean? Getting eaten on by animals, whatever. Like, that's still this vessel,
Right.
Even though it's nothing but a vessel, it means something to someone. That's
the
why they
only
want to
thing
take
we
this
attach
vessel,
ourselves to.
put it in a box,
Yeah.
have the ceremony. We got to do this for this vessel, even though
Yeah.
it's a total waste of money. By the way,
What the idea? Of,
everything, the funeral, everything. It's a total waste of money.
Yeah.
But you have this vessel that you still want to celebrate. You want to make sure this vessel is in a good place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it might give people some what's the word I'm looking for?
Closure.
Some peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
When they can go to a gravesite.
Why do you think it's
Get on the microphone.
So Taylor asked, why do you think it's a waste of money for a
Yeah.
funeral?
Oh, why don't we have funeral for deers that are on the side of the road, just sitting there
we don't
decaying?
know the deers.
That's not true. We have funeral.
They're still lives.
I'm just saying with a funeral, like you just said, like going to the grave, it gives you like a peace of mind or whatever.
Yeah.
The same thing with a funeral. They have talks.
I think I would rather be cremated.
Really?
Yeah, because think about it. Like, think about it, right?
Yes.
As arrogant as we want to be as human beings,
Right.
this version of us is not always going to exist.
Right.
Like, humans are going to evolve.
Right.
Do you know how many grave sites these buildings are built on?
I've been thinking about that. Like,
you know how many people had these funerals back in the day and they
Yeah.
cried and they teared up and they buried people in the South and in California, wherever else.
Yeah.
And now it's a Starbucks on top of that shit.
well, some of these, I think we could admit that some of these, what are they called? where the dead people are? Where
Grave sites? Graveyards?
No, it's called a graveyard.
Cemetery?
Yeah.
Cemetery. Yeah, I think some of these cemeteries, I think, are occupying good real estate, and they could be, used for other things.
Eventually, they will. It's going to be something. I don't know. It could be a flood. It could be an earthquake. It's going to be something that knocks those headstones off, and we're going to be gone. And the next generation of people are not even going to know they walking on the remains of Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz. Okay, until they just randomly hear dick talk in the middle of the night. And they're like, what the fuck?
It is an odd thing, though, to have a cemetery. It is an odd thing.
I mean,
it's take up all that space.
But,
it's a lot of space.
I'm telling you, go to South Carolina and let them take you on a ghost tour at Charleston and have them describe to you all the buildings that were built on top of old cemeteries. Life moves on.
Yeah.
We just get rid of the cemetery.
They knock the
That's what I'm
headstones, get out the
wondering,
way. It's just some people don't even have headstones.
Yeah, I know.
And also, you have to take a trip to the cemetery when you could just have the ashes in your house. It's way more convenient.
I don't know. My dad used to always say he would like to be cremated and then use him as fertilizer. That's what my dad used to always say.
So that he can be part of the trees or whatever in the background.
My dad wants to be sprinkled in the ocean.
I've heard that too.
In the ocean.
Yeah.
Why? Can he swim?
Yes. Asshole. We had a pool too, by the way.
I know.
Okay.
You grew up with Kobe. You know she grew up with Kobe, right?
Allegedly.
There you go. See,
Now,
stop. No, can I say on a serious tip?
On a serious tip, she posted the photo of her and Kobe.
Oh my
Instagram has
God.
that new shit that they can detect Photoshop. They flagged the picture. That's all I'm saying.
No, they did not.
That's all I'm saying. They flagged the picture.
They flagged the picture.
No,
Taylor?
they did not. But on a serious tip, I just want to say this Kobe thing hit very hard, especially in Lower Marion. Because he contributed a lot to Lower Marion.
Yeah.
And then
that's
when I would
high
say,
school Kobe went to in Philly, and that's the
that's-
high school Taylor went to.
And when I would say Lower Marion, they're like, oh, Kobe school. Like, it's just a lot. It's really heavy.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, it's definitely the worst. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's the worst sports death I've ever seen in my life. I can't remember the last time a sport. And Shaq hit that shit on the head when he was talking about like, yo, I've met Bill Russell. Bill Russell was old. Dr. J. He was just naming all of these basketball icons that are still around. And he's like, yo, Kobe not gonna be here. Like, they're not gonna be able to get old and still talk shit to each other. He's not gonna be able to give his Hall of Fame speech next year. By the way, you motherfuckers are so stupid and y'all piss me off so bad. When they announced that Kobe was getting inducted into the 2020 Hall of Fame, people was like, why somebody gotta die? Why they gotta wait till somebody died to induct him in the Hall of Fame?
Like Kobe wasn't getting in.
First ballot. This is just the first year he was eligible for nomination. They already had announced that he was a nominee. Him, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, he was going to be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Undeniable.
That's it. How soon is too soon to make jokes?
Oh, about Kobe?
No, not Kobe in general.
I heard a good Kobe joke though.
I don't want to hear it from you.
No, this is good.
Your idea of a good Kobe joke.
No, this is good. I got to
Okay.
shout out Tony Hinchcliffe with this joke. It was a good joke. He goes, Kobe passing? Never.
I get it.
You have to understand. You have to understand for the situation, right? And how
I like it.
it's a good joke.
It's not tasteless.
Because the joke is about legacy, right? The joke is about what we remember about Kobe. It's not making light of his death. It's going, we're all feeling in the moment, this is unbelievable. I can't believe this happened. And he took the feeling of, I can't believe this happened, and he gave it purpose. I thought Tony Hinchcliffe, great
That's a
comedian.
good joke, Tony.
And I thought it was just,
Double entendre.
there it is.
It's a double entendre.
It's a double
I like
entendre.
it. I like it.
I just thought, it shows that not every joke about a tragedy has to take advantage of the tragedy, right?
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
jokes
yeah,
about the
yeah.
tragedy that you can speak to how we all feel about it and can still offer a chuckle or a smile in a really fucking dark time. I thought it was great.
Your man is lame, though.
Who's that?
What's his name?
Oh, Ari.
You know why he's lame?
Yeah. That was not a joke.
It wasn't a fucking joke.
Yes.
You can't hide behind the guise of a comedian when it wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
There was no joke.
There's
there was
no
no
joke.
setup. There was no punchline. You got on motherfucking Instagram and you was like, you're a fucking rapist died today or some shit like that. The
Yeah.
world is a beautiful place. Whatever the fuck you
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
There was no joke.
There's no joke.
You made a statement, right? So, being that you made a statement, you
Yeah.
had an opinion on the situation, you called a brother a rapist, and that was it. Don't hide behind, oh, it was a comedian, I'm trying to be funny. Like, no.
Yeah. And the thing that is,
y'all should banish him from the comedy community for that. Because you can't misuse the title comedian, Schultz. If you're going to use the title comedian, it has to be with a joke.
I completely agree, and I won't defend non-jokes. I defend jokes.
Yes.
And I defend the attempts at jokes. So even if you made an attempt at a joke, I would defend you. But there wasn't even an attempt at a joke.
No attempt.
You just said things that are true.
You turned into a
like
white feminist. That's what you did, Ari. Like, Ari, you got
That's the most offensive part of it. You turned into one of these white women crying about
Yes. You turned into a white feminist.
Jezebel.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, go write a fucking blog.
Yo, you turned into a white feminist blogger. That's hilarious. That's the most offensive thing he did. But what I'll say is this, is what Ari does is when anybody dies, and he does this with close friends of his that has died, he does one of these kind of rants about it, or one of tweets about it. He did about Tom Petty, he did about Ralphie May, a comedian that was a good buddy of his, right? So there is like, if you're a really devout Ari fan, and he has tons of fans, I think they understood the context of what was going on. Then he said he didn't know at the time, like you didn't know at the time, that his daughter was in there, that there are other innocent people.
I don't give a fuck.
Listen, I'm not defending it. What I'm saying is the context of which it was said. There's still no joke. And furthermore, he took it down. He took the video down.
And said he got hacked.
And he did that as sarcasm. He leaned in with the hacking. He was like, I was making fun of people go, I was hacked. Yeah. So he leaned in, and then he took it down. Now, if you take it down, I don't got to defend you, because you're not defending you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a comedian is out there going, I'm standing by my joke, you know, like when we had that whole shit with Nicki Minaj or whatever, and they were like, apologize. I'm not apologizing, because I'm going to stand by what I said, right? So it's like, then we defend that. But if you're not going to stand by what you said, you can't expect the community to stand by what you said. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like...
And it wasn't a joke. There's no
joke.
There's no comic that should stand by that, because he did not make a joke. He turned into a white feminist blogger. Yeah. And I really think...
That's funny,
Yo, I really think he thought he was going to get a bunch of praise. I really think he thought that all of those feminists we're going to be like, yes, Ari.
He don't want them as
yes,
fans.
I don't know.
I think he was just trying to troll all the people, and he was just trying to, I don't think, maybe he was a little detached to how beloved Kobe was.
Clearly.
Yeah, and he's in LA, so you should know, but every interaction I've had with Ari has been a good interaction, that he's a sweet dude and a kind dude, and a very funny guy, very funny on stage. And it really sucks that this situation happened, because obviously as comics, people come to us, how do you feel about this? And all of us feel the same way. Where's the joke? There's nothing funny there. And that's why I said the Tony joke, because the Tony joke is a joke that's funny.
The Tony joke is perfect, because if you're a comedian and, somebody says, how do you feel about, Kobe dying? You'd be like, yo, my first reaction was Kobe passing? No. And you let it sit.
Yeah.
People get it.
That's it.
They get it. Yeah. And the reason I asked if it was too soon, because I saw somebody, I don't know who posted it. Somebody posted, if you got any good, I don't know if it was any good Kobe jokes. It was something to that. If you got any good Kobe jokes, like, let us know, like, to lighten the mood, right? Yeah. And then I saw Just Hilarious post a meme of Kobe and Jesus playing one-on-one, Jesus crossing them over. And then there was this whole debate in the comments, like, Kobe will wash Jesus, right? You know what I mean? Jesus got on sandals, which is like all that's...
Because now we're living his legacy, man. We're supporting his, like, there's no rule that says you can't make jokes. But there
not
should
about
be a joke.
him, though.
Yeah, or anything.
No.
It's just got to be funny.
Not about the death.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear no...
Even Tony's joke is about the death, but it's funny.
It's not about the tragedy of it. It's not like how back in the day when dude was playing the airplane stuff after Aaliyah died. No.
Right.
That's just tasteless. You know what I mean? But if it's like...
Because what's the joke there?
There's no joke,
That's
bro.
the thing. No. It's like, just because you say something that's shocking doesn't mean it's a joke. A joke involves something clever and some misdirection.
Tony one was clever.
Look,
Double entendre.
Need bare minimum misdirection for a joke to work. So if we're just breaking down the science of a joke, and I hate doing that because I think jokes will come here in your fucking soul, but if we're doing the science of it, there needs to be some bait and switch.
Yeah, man.
There needs some misdirect, some double entendre, some alliteration, play on words, something. Not just a shocking description of something. That's not a joke. And I think that's why he got crucified. And he's got to know that. And if he wants to continue doing the death thing, you better come with some funny.
Man, y'all.
Because I'll defend funny to the end.
I'm different. I'm from the South, man. I don't play with death, yo. Like, I believe in spirits, and I believe in energy and all of that. Like, there's no reason to be playing with the death of somebody. Like, what Tony did is funny. That makes a lot of sense. But just to be...
Because you're remembering the life. The joke is about his life.
Yes.
It's
a double entendre on his words. Like, you know what I mean? On his life. And like they always say Kobe never would pass in games. Like, that makes perfect sense. I get that. But just to be making jokes about somebody tragically dying, nah, bro. And you better, boy, I hope you know how to fight. I hope you got guns. Because somebody gonna see you about this shit. Well, especially when it comes to somebody like Kobe.
That was the thing, man. It's like...
Because sports may not be as universal as music, but there's nothing that brings people together like sports.
That is a great point.
There's racist in a black person could be Lakers fans.
That is
blood
a
in the Crip could be
great
Lakers
point.
fans.
It unites groups sports unites groups that never interact together way better than music, because music might happen once a year with a concert, but basketball's happen three times a week.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a really great observation.
You could be in a bar, high five. Listen, if I walk down the street, come June.
Yeah,
and not even. I don't even gotta say that. If I go to Miami this weekend, with Kansas City gear on, or who the fuck they playing? 49ers gear on.
Yeah.
I got so many friends. There's millions of 49ers fans down there right now, millions of Chiefs fans, and guess what? I got a bunch of enemies too, because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck what my race is, my gender is. They're looking at that jacket. Like, fuck you 49er fan. Fuck you fucking Chiefs fan. Like, there's nothing that brings people together like sports.
It is religious in that way.
Oh, come on, man. 100%.
It is religious in that. And the second you walk in that church, you can look around going, all right, I know I got some shit in common with these people.
Absolutely.
And that is interesting. It doesn't maybe... it does. It's different. It's different, but when... something happens to someone in sports, you're dealing with the smoke of all the people who fuck with them. You're dealing with like legacy. You're dealing with 20 years of fan smoke.
And it's not even the people that fuck with him. It's the people that hate him. Because they didn't hate him personally. They hated him because he used to bust their team's ass.
Yeah.
Now that he's retired, now that he's passed away, I can give it up for him.
Yo, but you know what? And that's something that caught me about specifically the Kobe thing, is that we, especially with sports, right? We spend so much time and energy hating people that we don't know, only because they're playing for a city that's not ours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did this with Jordan, right? I hated Jordan because he was on a different team and he would bust my team's ass. And thank God I matured a little bit and he looked a little vulnerable when he came back, that I actually started rooting for him, right? So I got to experience some of the greatness from the side of rooting for it. And that shit right there flipped the switch for me about not only sports, but like creatives and all these other people. I'm not going to fucking hate on great work and miss out on greatness. Like, if you are great,
absolutely,
I'm going to enjoy your fucking greatness.
Absolutely.
I don't care how I feel about you personally.
Absolutely.
If you got some greatness, I'm going to enjoy it, because that's just stupid, man.
I'm not a Patriots fan at all, but I love seeing Tom Brady go against time. I'm not gonna lie. I love to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love even when I don't like a team. Like, I like when I see, legacy players leave with a championship, even if that's not my squad. You know what I mean? 'Cause I just feel like that's how you're supposed to go out when you a champ. And I guess the final thing I say about Kobe, man, to me, this is just it's just
you
another.
Never spoke about your daughter thing. I'm curious about that before you wrap that up.
Well, I said that's just my.
When you found out that he lost his daughter, what was the reaction there? Because the initial reaction was you thought it was just him.
It was a little shock at first, and I immediately went into protection mode, as if I can protect something like that from happening, because it just seemed like such a freak accident, like on some Final Destination shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just kind of like went automatically into protection mode, and I had to just and I was like that the whole day, and then even driving back from Atlantic City.
What was it like driving back? Were you extra safe? Were you
65 miles per hour?
Not even playing the games,
Speed
right?
Speed limit.
Isn't that interesting?
All day, every day. Speed limit. You know what I mean? But I drive like that anyway. Like, I hate, my wife is 90 miles per hour, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you in a rush to do?
Yeah.
Die?
Yeah.
Get pulled over so I die and get shot by police? I just you know what I'm saying? Why? We don't need none of these problems.
Yeah.
But
Officer, she was driving.
That's immediately how I felt. I just felt like I felt very protective.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can't. There's certain things you just can't.
You have no control.
You have no fucking control over. And to argue against the reality of that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And just think about that.
Submit to life.
You got to submit to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I don't even think we living, bro. I just think we existing. And what I mean by that is, like right now, we're just existing, right?
Yeah.
Like anybody could be alive, you could live, but because the reason I say existing is because your existence is after this is gone too.
Yeah.
Because Kobe still exists.
Yeah.
He just don't exist in the physical form anymore. So I don't even like to just say, I just like to say, yo, we're just existing. That's it. And that's just how I feel. You're existing physically for a while, and then you're not. Now you're just existing spiritually. But truthfully, you always exist spiritually. Because it's your spirit that people talk about. You know what I'm saying? Unless you fucking Chris Helmsworth or Denzel or somebody. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's your spirit people constantly talk about. It's what you put inside of people. You know what I mean? It's like I was listening to you on Whitney Cummings, and Whitney was talking about how she goes to you all the time for advice. You know what I'm saying? I think about my homegirls who come to me for advice all the time. My home, like, that's a spirit. That's something that's going to live on way after you're gone.
Yeah.
So you're always going to exist within these people. So I don't even like to say we living. We're existing.
Yeah.
And we're going to, hopefully we just keep existing. We're not going to exist physically. That's going to go away. Then just hopefully stay around existing spiritually. And then that's it. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, my final thought is just like, yo, death doesn't discriminate. And I feel like that's all this situation told us.
And our ego sometimes makes us think it does, right? Our ego thinks, oh, successful people, they don't get in freak accidents. Rich people,
famous, status. Like I said, he's just like a mythical creature. Like things like that don't. This guy has been the most blessed person his whole life, his whole physical existence, and something that tragic, that unlucky happens to him.
Yeah,
nah, man. He wasn't what?
Start talking to the mic, honey.
He wasn't troubled though. Like everyone else that passed away, like the Juice WRLD maybe, and like they already had drug problems, so it's not necessarily. I wouldn't say it was surprising.
I understand what you're trying to say.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you're saying that like this is not.
You didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
it's not a Hollywood. What is it called? Hollywood story. Remember those true Hollywood stories where like an actor or something ends up dying, but he went through this really dark path and then he ends up overdosing, etc. Exactly. This is somebody whose life seems to be getting even better after sports, which we never thought would happen to Kobe.
He talks about his dark period though.
Yeah, he did. He
talked about his dark period. He was on my man Drum show. Was it Drum?
Drum?
DJ Drama? Drum? What's the name of Drum's podcast? But yeah, he talked about his dark side on there.
Yeah. But he attacked retirement in the same way that he attacked basketball, right? He's like, I gained weight, I started to do this, and I realized, nah, this is not the life. And he really invested in family and business and all these other things. And I think, that's one of the reasons why it was so tragic for us as fans, because we saw someone, and it's very rare, who was so obsessed with their sport and the success in their sport. And usually those people fall apart in retirement. They get alcohol problems, or they're smoking cigars all the time. They're just trying to replace their gambling. They're just trying to replace that edge that they got, that high they got from competing. And he seemed to transition into like fatherhood, like so seamlessly.
Yeah, man.
And then to have that shut down like that, man.
Yeah, to end like that. Like that's not,
Does it make you question life and like the purpose?
Everything. I felt like that with Nipsey though. I felt like that. Like I don't even know if I believe in karma no more. I'm sure I've said that on the podcast before, because I think karma is just an action. Like you should do good because you want to do good. I don't think that you should do good and expect that good things are going to happen to you in return. Because how many times are we going to say things like the good die young? You know what I'm saying? How many times are we going to ask the question, why do, bad things happen to good people, right? And you can't, that's why I hate when I see these white feminists saying, things about Kobe's past, because if that is the karma for being accused of rape and getting acquitted in court, why did it have to affect everybody else in that helicopter? Because to me, if that's the case, karma has karma coming back to it. Because karma didn't have to take those young girls. What did those young girls do? You understand what I'm saying? Like what did that mom do that she got taken away from her parents? What did that father and that other wife and the wife and his daughter? What did they do? Like, so I don't even know if I believe in karma, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just think that you should do good because you genuinely want to do good. I think karma is just an action.
What if we live within our karma, meaning by doing good things, we actually feel good doing them. So it's not like I helped a homeless person and then 2 months later I get a little help from someone, but the actual action of doing makes me feel good.
That's why I say karma's in action. Yeah, you hit it. That's exactly it. That's exactly why I say karma's in action.
Because we're not waiting for a payback. The payback's built into us. It's like every time you help somebody and you get to feel that high you get from helping. That's the karma.
That's why they say your true purpose in life is service to others. I did something for somebody. It made me feel good. I don't care what that person does for me.
Isn't it crazy how all these religions really say the same shit about humanity and like the human condition? They just got different words.
Absolutely.
So it's like, what is that? Faith? I always forget these.
Faith without works is dead.
And then what was the doing service to others? What was the line of service to others?
Well, that's Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. That's your true purpose in life is service to others.
Right.
Or maybe that's Russell Simmons. I'm going to give it to Wayne W. Dyer.
Yeah, might be. Talking about karma.
Yeah, but I don't know if I believe in karma. And
if you're a shitty person, I think you also live in that karma. I think people who are shitty tend to be less happy unless they're sociopaths.
Of course.
So it's like you are living in the anxiety of your actions. Look at what you would always say, right? Like how much freer you are now that you're not cheating, right? That is positive karma.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? You living a good life and then you feeling good because you're living it, opposed to sneaking around and doing all this other fuck shit, and you're having these like negative emotions constantly surround you. That's why you had that skin discoloration, bro.
Man, shut up.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, if black men don't cheat, you were changing different colors to avoid it.
Man, shut up, man.
Right?
No, man.
For real.
This shit is fucked up. It makes you
Look
think
how
about...
good your skin is now that you're faithful, bro.
I'm going to see Dr. Sandy right now. But no, you're right,
I'm
though.
saying your skin is great because you're faithful.
No, you're right. Listen, it's all about energy. But that's a true thing, though, right? Because when I used to cheat, I used to feel bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew I was doing something I had no business doing.
There you go.
I was wallowing in my own guilt, and that shit will kill you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because then you start...
You were living in your karma, bro.
You're living in your karma. You thinking she doing something wrong, so you looking at her funny, and now you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that funny when you ain't shit? You assume everyone around you ain't shit.
I think
that's the weirdest thing, isn't it?
I've been thinking about death too. I think that I think Taylor might have asked me this the other day. Like, I don't know if I believe in hell. I think that
I told you that.
I think you leave as pure as you got here.
Ooh, go on that.
I think you leave as pure as you came. I think when you die and all of this, you know, your physical existence is gone.
Yeah.
I think you return back to wherever you came from just as pure as the day you came.
You know why I subscribe to that? Because, a lot of the people that end up being serial killers or mass murderers and all this kind of stuff came in pure and then had horrific things happen to them throughout their childhood and their life that warped them into these people, right? Like, I think Jeffrey Dahmer, one of those serial killer guys, I think he was like raped a bunch and like assaulted, all this kind of shit in his life. So his psyche as an innocent little child was abused into becoming this person. So low key, it would only be fair to bring him back to his purity when he died because he didn't ask for that shit.
A lot of circumstances are out of their control.
Yes.
You know, so being that they became these people because of their circumstances, you think God is that cruel? And I think we got to stop giving God credit for some of this stuff, man. Some of this stuff is just human error. You know what I'm saying? Like that pilot made a choice.
Yeah.
And that choice cost everybody in that helicopter their life.
Bro.
God gives us free will. God gives us the ability to make choices. We hope God is there to protect us and, you know, cover us. But if I take a gun and put it in my head, my brains are probably going to get blown out.
Yeah.
I can't ask God. It doesn't work that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't simultaneously pray for God to protect me, but then put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger. Like, now you being ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Like, yo, they say Kobe went to church that morning. He was prayed up. He had faith, but that pilot made a decision. There was some human error involved. Couldn't see. Ran into a mountain doing 186 miles per hour. God didn't make these indestructible, baby. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he didn't make these bodies indestructible is all I'm saying. So, I don't know, man.
And we wouldn't want them to be.
No, I would.
I don't think you would, because I don't think you would value life. We value life. What happens in these moments? They teach us the value of life. When we see someone that we care about die, or when we see someone we care about not only die, but lose their family members, we hug our family members, right? These are constant reminders on a universal scale of how valuable life is and how not, promised it is.
And how quick it can go.
Say what?
How quick it can go. It's a 41-year-old man. I'm 41. I'm born in 1978. You done did all of this life. You've played 20 years of basketball. You got all of these championships, everything, and your life is literally gone in, 15 minutes, whatever long it took for them to be in that plane? Helicopter? Jesus Christ. Hey, man.
What about the logo?
The logo? What logo?
Did they change it?
Oh, I love this idea. So they said they were considering, or there was 1 million petitions
It's not going to happen.
signed. I don't know if it happens, but would be really interesting.
They would have to pay the family.
Say what?
They'd have to pay the family.
Pay what family?
They'd have to pay the Bryants. That's Kobe's likeness. You know the NBA has never acknowledged that's Jerry West's likeness?
Is that right?
Yes, because they'd have to pay the fuck out of Jerry West.
You know what? You know what? I bet you the Bryants would sign it off. And I bet you Vanessa Bryant would sign it off, because in a weird way, Kobe was always in the shadow of Michael Jordan, right? He never was as great as Michael Jordan in many people's eyes, but he did something that Michael couldn't do, which was transition to life without basketball. Way better than Jordan did.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
Jordan became an owner, and the owner of Jordan. He became, not only the owner of the Hornets, Jordan brand. Jordan lives a great life.
No, he's successful financially, but if you look at him, he doesn't look great.
You just judging that off his jeans.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. By the way, give Kobe if you'd have gave Kobe about 9 more years, we don't know what Kobe would have looked like at 50,
By
bro.
all reports, Jordan is not like the happiest of guys, and that was during his playing career, and it continued to afterwards. I mean, every time you see Jordan in an interview, he's drinking, right? I've yet to see him in an interview where he doesn't have a glass of scotch or tequila or something.
He's fucking retired. Wait till you see me when I'm retired, guys.
You gonna be drinking a lot?
What you gonna think? I'm not
I'll say the same thing. Yo, Zolomon's fucked up. He's drinking all the time. You never see someone drinking all the time and be like, oh, they're happy.
Man, that man he spent decades literally giving his life to basketball. Well, no, he used to drink when he played sports too, so... It's stories of him drinking whole 18 packs of beer and then going to fucking score 50 points.
Yeah, not happy.
Maybe he's just an alcoholic. Maybe he likes to
Yeah. And that's not good. Right? Like, who's a positive, happy person that's also an alcoholic?
Yeah, I don't like to judge whether people are happy or not. I don't know. His genes do look sad, if that's what you want me to say.
His genes, look, it is what it is.
Yes.
I forgot why I even brought it up, to be honest with you. What was I saying?
You're talking about the logo.
Oh, the logo. It would be an interesting one-up on Michael Jordan, posthumously. All of a sudden, he becomes synonymous with basketball from now for forever, and he gets that thing that he always wanted, to be the most incredible basketball player in history. Like, history can be fair. You're immortalized.
I don't know if that's what Kobe. I mean, listen, I can't speak for Kobe. I don't think that's what Kobe wanted at 41 years old.
No, at 41 it changed. He was like, it's the legacy and how you affect people
and your kids, man. And I don't. There's no. I refuse to believe that if Kobe Bryant had the opportunity, this is how he would want to be immortalized.
Yeah,
where you got to lose 7 people that are close to you, 8 people that are close to you, 1 being your 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
and your life. Nah.
Yeah,
it ain't worth it. It ain't. By the way, it ain't worth it. Everything we're chasing, all that professional stuff we're chasing, the rings for whatever we do, whether it's radio, comedy, whatever, none of it's worth it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what's worth it is that family you got at home. You know what I'm saying?
What if you don't have a family at home?
Take your condom off.
Start doing it?
That's it.
Now, what if I don't wear them?
Then you might want to go get checked and see what's wrong with your little skeeter. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
you might not have that super sperm.
Bro, come on,
might not be potent. You never had no scares, bro?
I'm pulling out
never had no
power
scares,
wash, bro.
You never had no scares?
Say what?
You never had no scares?
I'm always scared.
You never.
What you mean ain't got no scares?
Listen, you never made a girl miss her period?
What do you mean,
even if she didn't get
miss?
pregnant, she just thought, I don't know, it's a little late.
It's always late. Girls never know when their period is.
Really?
Once a month, my girl. What? I don't take my periods in here. Say what?
You never pay for no abortions?
Yo, Bernie Sanders got to handle abortions from now on, bro. If you're going to handle Medicare, bro, Bernie, you got healthcare for all. That's the platform.
Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Condolences to his family.
I never
really?
Yeah. Or I never had one, to my knowledge. I mean, Charlamagne out here keeping Planned Parenthood alive.
I'm just
Y'all motherfuckers got a plaque.
I'm just telling you how
They
good my
hanging
sperm
his
work.
jersey from the fucking
I'm just telling you how
rafters
good
of
my sperm work, baby. I got 3 and 3 possibles. All right. Okay.
You got a half-court basketball game
Hey,
just in
man.
heaven waiting for you.
I got 3 exactly. I got 3 here and 3 waiting on Pops. You wanted that boy? We all up here. All right. All right. I'm just saying. Listen, let's pay these bills.
That's hilarious.
Let's pay these bills, and then we're gonna have our guests come in the building.
Yes.
Go ahead, Schultz.
All right, guys. Today's episode brought to you by Postmates. Other than your absolute best friends, who could you ask to bring you red wine at 4 p.m., sushi at 9 p.m., and a breakfast burrito at 8 a.m.? Nobody except Postmates. Now, if you guys don't know what Postmates are, I don't know how you have a cell phone, or I don't know how you're listening to this podcast, because clearly you're not living in 2020 like the rest of us. This is how you get your stuff delivered to you. Food, sushi, alcohol, whatever the hell you want, get it delivered directly to you. All right? No more trips to the store. You don't have to know where the store is. Postmates will do anything you need. Download the app, iOS or Android, for free. Browse local restaurants and businesses and track your delivery. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. That's how many days there are in the year, and that's how many hours there are in the day that you can use this and order. Simple as that. Anything you're craving, Postmates can deliver. They're the largest on-demand network in the known universe with more than 25,000 partner merchants. For a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. To start your free deliveries, download the app right now and use the code IDIOTS. That's IDIOTS. IDIOTS. For $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Get anything you need anytime you need it. Download Postmates. Save with the code IDIOTS. You get that $100 of free delivery credit. Now let's get back to the show. We have a guest I'm very excited to talk to, man, because he's not aware of this, but he has been very responsible for a lot of the success I've had in my career. My whole idea with posting clips on the internet and posting weekly content, stand-up comedy comes from the way that he operated with the music industry. So this is really exciting that we get to sit down. A massive inspiration, incredibly successful young gentleman who has a lot of very interesting things to say about his business, but also about life and legacy. So it's great that we get to sit down with Russ. Everybody, Russ, welcome to the show.
It's a Napoleon Hill mindset, though.
Guys, Jesus Christ. You get 2 independent thinking minded motherfuckers in here and they just start spilling all the goods before the podcast even starts.
You're right.
Charlamagne the God here.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and we got a special guest in the building, man. He's got a new album dropping. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
Today, midnight. Technically, yeah, tomorrow, but yeah, midnight.
You know that voice. Russ is here.
Yes.
What's happening, Russ?
Can't complain. Living the dream.
Now, I'm glad that you're here because Andrew
Me too.
Schultz, did you tell him already? I'm sure you did.
Of course.
Yeah, we've been talking.
I couldn't wait.
Okay.
I was so excited.
Well, let's act like that conversation never happened. Hand me those.
I basically been I owe a lot of my success to you, and I was telling you this before, and yeah, you really inspired me to put out the content, and it's weird how it happens because I get a lot of credit in the comedy world, like taking comedy from TV to the internet, and I always say I just took it from musicians.
Yeah,
whatever musicians were doing, they're 20 years ahead of comics.
Right.
And
interesting.
You specifically with releasing the song, I thought you did it for a year. I didn't know you did it for 2 years.
Yeah, like 2.5. It was a long time.
You did a song a week.
Yeah, so I did a song a week. Roughly for like 2.5 years on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And this is before, like, the reason why I was doing it on SoundCloud was because that was the platform. You gotta understand, this is before Apple Music was even out.
Right.
And it was when Spotify was still new. Like, Rap Caviar was not a thing. I remember having my first song that really went big was like What They Want.
Yeah.
It was in Rap Caviar, and I didn't know. No one knew around me. No one cared, just because, like, what was that at the time? So it was really just about SoundCloud because it was the quickest way to get just direct to consumer, and people I just want people to hear my song. So I was doing a song a week, and I ended up doing 96 songs.
What got your attention about Russ though? Because I mean, that's not. Artists do that, but what about Russ specifically?
I don't know if artists do that. Artists don't do that.
They don't put out songs all the time.
Every week,
not a week.
No one's ever done that for 96 weeks in a row.
It was like a mixtape model, like we'll put out a mixtape and maybe an album or something like that, but. What someone told me that you were doing it once a week, and I was like, okay, that's hard work. I hate I will never complain if I'm working harder than everyone.
Yeah.
Fuck complaining even in general. But I was like, okay, I'm not working hard enough.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
and I was like, okay, boom. If I put this out once a week, I'll be good. At least I know I'm doing something to further my career.
Yeah.
And then once I started having all the things out, I remember when something hit. Do you remember when your first joint hit?
I remember, like, you know what, for me, because when you're putting out so much content, it's all this kind of like gradual accumulation of
so it wasn't
spikes.
one song.
No, it wasn't like you wake up and it's, oh my God, it's going crazy. It's just that this song hits 10,000 plays and this one hits 12,000 and 15. And before you know it, it just compounds. But that's why putting out so much content is great, because it all ends up compounding.
Yeah.
You know? So, because my song I put out this week will get promoted by the song I put out next week, and so on and so forth.
So that's the
Taylor,
thing.
what are you doing? I think you got a girlfriend, Taylor. Relax. Jesus Christ. What's up with you, man?
What's up? What's up?
Thank you.
So
Never seen you do that for anybody.
Am I still being heard? You still don't want to give me your grapefruit juice?
Whoa, is that a new slang for something?
It could be.
This is the Me Too era. You got to push it up a little bit.
She's literally drinking grapefruit juice for those who can't see.
Yeah, man. So basically, I looked at it, and for me, it wasn't like really that gradual thing. I think what happened for me was I had one clip go viral. It was on Super Bowl Sunday, like a few years ago. But this is what happened that was interesting. It went viral, but I had all these other clips out there.
Which is why that's the key. That's why I tell people, like, you don't
Catalog.
People
it's catalog.
People
They
go
have to go
for
back
one
to
moment,
something.
but it's like if you have tons of work out there and then one hits, it becomes the champagne glass at the top of the tower. You know, you just pouring that one and it starts spilling out.
Yeah.
So this one thing hit, and then everybody started checking the other stuff, and then the algorithm got hit, and it was like,
Yeah, and it goes from I like this song to now I like this
person.
guy.
And
that's the key,
bro.
That's the key.
That's what we learned. And literally, I credit this to you. I say this on any podcast that they ask me about, but I was like, I basically looked at it like this, and I start to look at like funnels, right? And I was like, okay, how do we find someone on the internet? Like, how do you find a musician? You don't listen to a whole album. That's stupid.
It's insane.
You put out a single. And I'm like, why are comedians who are strangers to most people putting out an hour of saying, sit down, take an hour of your content to listen to a stranger?
Right.
I would never listen to any stranger for an hour.
It's insane.
I don't care how funny they are. A stranger.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm a stranger. I'm
Even
nobody.
if it was recommended?
Even if it was recommended,
An
I'm
hour?
a nobody.
No chance.
Yeah.
You
I'm a
better tell
nobody.
me one funny joke right now.
So I'm going to give you one funny. I'm going to give you singles.
Boom.
Right?
That's what
I
it
hit
is.
you a single, and then I put out the longer project. And that's what we did. And shit just exploded. And then other
That's amazing.
comics started getting on it, man. So yeah, man.
That's
You
beautiful.
have influenced
Thank you.
the comedy world. I swear
That's
to God,
crazy.
if you look at your phone right now, you look at your Explore page, you will see comics posting their clips on Instagram. That did not happen before you did
That's
the
crazy.
week of music. What is
That's
that? A song
amazing.
every week.
That's,
Yeah.
wow. That's
the
amazing.
ecosystem is affected, man.
Yeah,
For real.
That's beautiful. But I think it's like, I think that every artist should implement a more consistent, simplified method of content.
Yes.
Because like he's saying,
Content consumption or just
content
Production.
approach.
Okay.
Because it's like,
Distribution,
that's why I did this thing, was for the same reason. No one's trying to hear an album from someone they don't know. So I was like, I just need to get y'all's attention. I know y'all can listen to one song. So I'll do a song a week, same type of thing. And then when you have the catalog, whatever that one song is that makes the pot boil over, when you then go on the internet and type in, let me see if there's anything else, and you find 200 songs, you're like, oh, you were prepared for this moment. And now I'm a hardcore fan. You can't be a hardcore fan of someone that has two things out.
songs. Yeah.
Bro, we were talking about this. It's like, if you're smart about it, and sometimes it happens organically, you have like a funnel to being a super fan, right? And let's say, for example, they listen to What They Want, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's kind of nice. And they listen to another one. And then a third song, they're like, I fuck with him.
Right.
I'm a fan.
Right.
So my whole strategy was
Then imagine
piece.
30 songs deep.
Now
40.
forget it. It's over.
Now it's, I'm getting the tattoo.
Now it's not only I get the
You know what I
tattoo,
mean?
I gotta go to the show.
I got to go to the show. I got to buy
invested
the
hours
merch.
of my life.
And that's what it is. It's like, is my merch... Now, I think everything I do is better than everyone, just because it's like, I have to think like that. I say you have to move. But
And that's why people don't like you, but that's the mentality you're supposed to
you're
have.
supposed to have. But
the fuck is wrong with people?
is my
No, you
merch
should go out
technically
there and be like, yo, we're
better
whack.
than this? Is my show technically better than this? Is the song better? It's all subjective. But what it is that I have people bought into me. There's a lot of artists out here who have people bought into their songs, but like I have people bought into me to the point that, yeah, you know what? All you're doing is selling a fucking hoodie, but
Bro.
I'm buying it
Bro.
because I like you.
Yeah.
My boy Mark said this shit to us. we're on the road, and he goes, because we were talking about the importance of like the person in front of the brand.
Yeah.
And he goes, you go to any WWE show, the wrestling shit, they sell John Cena's outfit after the show. That is the worst outfit. It's literally jean shorts and a t-shirt.
That's amazing.
And they sell it so you could dress like John Cena. That has nothing to do with how cool the clothing is.
No.
It has to do with the person.
Yeah, it's all
It's
Cena.
because how cool he is, the perception.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's what, it's like Shake the Snow Globe. That's the new album that's coming out.
Yes.
The way I got on the Russ is because it was the hate campaign people had against you.
Yeah.
And I'm always drawn to people like that. I need to know why somebody is hated so
What it
much.
is. Sure.
So I go and I check it out. I'm like, well, what the fuck? He can rap his ass off.
Thank you.
So why don't people like him?
Yeah.
And then I started seeing videos of you getting people fucked up. And I appreciated that too. No, I'm being honest with you. I appreciated that too. So even I'm like, I think I fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't never heard you have a conversation, nothing. I just saw that.
Sure.
And then even when I saw the things you were saying about people in drug use, I'm like, how can somebody be mad at what he's saying in regards to artists using drugs?
I understand it though.
Why?
I'll tell you what it is. It's and I forgive. I was talking with someone yesterday. I forgive myself and I forgive people who have an issue because I also understand the perspective of when you see a rookie come into the league in the NFL or the NBA and they have a good rookie season, you're like, who cares? Do it again next year.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a rookie talking crazy, like imagine if like John Morant right now was just in every post-game interview like, I'm going to be better than this and I'm the best player in the league. It's like, yo, I feel you and the numbers back it, but like, hold on a little second, like do it again. So I understand that you're talking a lot too early. I get that perspective. I don't think I am, but I understand if you feel like that. And so I realize that in order to combat that, the only way to solve that is for me to be this dope for a long time. Like it's longevity. It's at the end of the day, like you're only a legend if you do it for a long time. Like Drake has been so ill for so long, you have to give it up.
Unbelievable.
Cole, Kendrick, even Nicki, whatever you want to say about Nicki, it's like, yeah, but she was and is really successful for mad long. Like people can't last a summer out here.
It's a decade,
So I just know that I get it. If y'all don't want to give me the credit right now, that's cool. But check back in 5 years when it's like, yo, Russ has been here for 10 years, been saying the same shit, still putting up numbers, doing arenas, da-da-da-da. Now he's got this singer pregnant. It's crazy.
Yeah, but the ill thing about that is, all they're gonna do is go back and give you your props for saying it from the beginning.
I know.
It's like the same thing with Kobe now. It's like they thought he was arrogant back then, but now it's like, yo, he was telling us he was gonna be that guy. Like,
you know, the resolution for that is fans. Fans are the ones who just tell the world from day one, no, Charlemagne is great. Schultz is great. Russ is great. And that's what you bank on. That's what you feed. You pay attention to those people and you let the rest of the people catch on when they catch on. And that's what it is. And I've like, I
let them convert.
I used to fight it a lot. And I still, a lot of times I fight like trying to prove yourself. Like, no, I am great. I'm better. Like, look at my numbers. I'm better than him. But it's like, man, people are just going to catch on when they catch on.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. And like, you can spend so much time and waste so much energy and almost be ungrateful because you're so focused on who doesn't fuck with you and trying to get them to fuck with you that you forget that all these people fuck with you. Why don't you just fuck with them and maybe, you know what, the 5 people in their friend group who didn't like you, maybe they'll now like you in a year from now, whatever. Like, just focus on this. So
why can't you ignore people when it comes to like punching people? Like,
I'll tell you why, because
I like punching people.
No, because I'll say this. I'm really never even trying to operate from that frequency. I'm really not. But I will say I take it offensive because if you're Joe Schmo from middle of nowhere and you have 10 followers and you say Russ is an L or whatever the hell, it doesn't matter because you're not influencing anyone.
Yeah.
So it's not offensive because you have no pull. Now, if you as a stranger and a grown-ass man who I've never met, never talked to, we're not cool, we have no issue, and you decide to round up your army of fans, whether or not you realize that's what you're doing, but if you decide to round up your army of fans to influence them to have a negative opinion of another grown-ass man who's just trying to be successful and do his thing, I take it as offensive as it is.
Right.
Because you're crossing the line now. You're now trying to, like, because you don't understand that by you getting your army of fans to feel some type of way about me, and you influence them, because you got to understand, when we have fans, you could tell them jump off a cliff, and they might jump off the cliff.
Right.
So if you say, nah, we all don't like Russ now, I take it offensive, because you saying that might fuck up my streams, because maybe more people are going to be peer pressure to be like, nah, I'm not listening to Russ, which means you fuck up my family's money.
Mm-hmm.
You fuck up a lot of things. So I take it as offensive as it is. So, especially because we're not cool like that. We don't know each other. So if we do see each other, you should know what time it is. And if you, like, I'm also just, I don't understand this. If you talk shit about somebody and you end up getting punched in the mouth, what is the confusion?
Yeah.
What's the confusion?
That's a wild shit to say to somebody after you punch them in the face. And like, what is the confusion?
I don't like, bro, every time it's happened, it's like, I can't believe. It's like, where y'all from? Where y'all from?
They turn into the victim.
But it's like,
Yeah.
it's if you break it down like that, like, yeah, I mean, Russ never said anything to me, ever. I talked shit about him, and then I got punched in the face.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
They thought
it's
you.
like,
they
what?
thought you was gonna give them the same energy they
No,
gave
what it
you.
is,
Meaning you. They thought you would come on the internet.
No, it's just
tweet.
it's just disrespect is what it is. It's
Yeah.
that you're not saying that to 21 Savage. You're not saying that to Gucci.
Oh, they
You're
thought
not-
they could get away with it.
You think it's
good
just
point.
sweet.
Good
Yeah.
point.
You are not.
point.
However you feel about Gucci or Kevin Gates or 21 or people
Not
that you
happening.
think are going to come see you about it,
Good point.
you're not even going to tweet it. You're tweeting it because you think there is no repercussions for your actions. So it's like, cool, I'm here to let you know that there is. And so if you guys want to keep doing it, you're going to keep getting punched in the mouth.
Is that why you wear your head down? Do you have like cauliflower on your ear? Like you secretly an MMA
he's
fighter or
an
something?
MMA fighter.
So you gotta hide it from people. So they try-
My brother's a real deal.
He does MMA?
Yeah, he does jujitsu and the whole nine. Yeah.
Wow. What's the shake the snow globe? What does that mean? Title
So
down.
Shake the Snow Globe was about resetting and reflecting, because I got very stagnant and jaded to the pros and the cons. I got jaded to having money and walking around my house like this is regular, that I have my logo in my pool and I have a multi-million-dollar fucking thing going on, and my studio in my house is crazy. I got a gym, I got a sauna, my mom, I bought her a house, all these beautiful pros, and I'm touring around the world. I got fans. I got everything I ever wanted. And then the cons, like, you know, I got too caught up in that, the negativity, and then my family's personal life going on. And I realized that I got so stuck, like energy-wise, and so stagnant that I was like, man, I was walking around my house one night by myself. And, you know, I live by myself in this 12,000 square foot house, just in the cut, you know, the north side of Atlanta, just tucked away. And I was walking around my house one day, and I'm just like, man, I look around and I'm looking at like my pool table with my logo and like just all these, I don't know, when you have a house, you start really realizing like, man, like, nah, my rap paid for these curtains. Like, the curtains. You know what I'm saying? Like, the glass, the plates. You feel me? Like, it starts really settling in, and I never had stability like that.
Does it fuck with you? Because I know for me, man, I be feeling, I run through stages, right? Like I have like guilt.
Sure.
Because I feel like, yo, damn, it's people, you know, that came up with me that don't have this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I start having like survivor's remorse. Like, you know what I mean?
Survivor's guilt,
And
yeah.
I start thinking about my mom making $30,000 a year. And
It fucks me, but then I also just feel like the chosen one. I really do. I just feel like, you know what? It's been bestowed upon me to do this, so that's what it is. But so I was walking around my house and I was looking around, just not just at the physical house, but then my life mentally. And I'm like, and I said to myself organically, just like, if not now, then when?
Word.
And that was the statement that changed like my life. Cause I was like, man, at the time I was 26, I'm 27 now, but at the time I was 26. I'm like, I'm 26. I got all these things. I got everything I ever asked for. If I'm not happy now, then I should just give this up.
You weren't happy?
No, like,
maybe you didn't feel worthy.
I thought I wasn't happy or something, like, because I wasn't focused on what mattered, you know?
Yeah.
I was so
You were outside in, not inside out.
exactly. I
Yeah.
was so focused on like the next thing or the what can I do better? Like, bro, take a second. Like,
You
you're
weren't
walking
enjoying
around
the
your
moment.
fucking house.
Yeah, enjoy the moment.
Yeah. So I was like, if not now, when? Like, I don't want to be 35 and look back and be like, what the fuck? Like, that was so lit back then and I didn't enjoy that. Like, I'm tripping. So
It's a scary thing, I
It
would
is.
imagine, to achieve all of your dreams and then be sitting there like, wait a minute, why am I not as happy as I thought
because
I
it's
would
a
be?
personal problem.
Yeah.
It's a personal problem. And that's something that I've been working on. But I realized it that night, which is why then I called it Shake the Snow Globe, because when you look at a snow globe and it's just all stagnant and still, and you look at it for too long, it's just still. And then you got to just shake it up, you know,
Yeah.
and just reset and let it all fall back into place. Because the dust had settled for a little bit too long. So I was just like, nah, man, I got to like shake it off. I got like the Tin Man, but like I haven't been, you know.
You need the oil. And
Yeah.
I be feeling like that too sometimes because it's like, yo, if you don't, it almost feels like if you don't appreciate what you have, God will take it from you.
That's what I started getting scared about too.
Yeah.
Like I started catching myself mentally, and it's still like an ongoing battle, but at least I'm aware now. But I started getting like that too, like, oh shit, like, please don't think that I don't want this, you know, because I want this, I like it, I'm just trying to work on it, but like, don't go anywhere.
Is that what the book was about? It's all in your head? Get out of your way?
Well, what's funny about that is like, I need to read that.
Yeah.
I need that book more than a lot of
Right.
people. I have all the game because of what I've applied to my life, and I could put it in a book. But I almost got so good at preaching what to do, and I stopped practicing it.
Mm.
So that's what I've been trying to work on now. But that's what the album is.
What was it? Was it like therapy? Was this you going to therapy? Were you?
I never.
Okay.
I call the studio my therapy sessions
Mhm.
because I feel like when I'm down there. Now, this is the first time that I've had a studio in my house. Like that's the other thing with this album. This whole album was recorded in my basement by myself. You know.
Don't talk like you got an ordinary basement, sir.
No,
I'm
but
sure you got a full deck studio down there.
no, I do. But that's why, like, that's what's amazing about it is that I get to go down there and just lock in and zone out. So this whole thing, like, you know, the other two albums, I'm recording on the road in this hotel room,
Right.
random, and it's chaotic. This was the first time I had stability, even from a creative place. So I got to really explore my own creative potential and reservoir. And that was therapy for me because I got to really just be super vulnerable, you know, and it was really important for me. And writing that book was important because putting it down on paper and writing it made me feel like, yeah, you know what? Okay, I forgot that I even feel like this. Like, because it was all coming out so easy. Like all the chapters in the book, they were so easy to write that you would think that I follow them religiously.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, nah, man, I'm bugging because like it can't be this easy for me to say. But I'm slipping up on following what I'm even trying to preach to y'all.
Yeah, I saw the handwritten letter you wrote.
Yeah.
And you talked about not being proud of the headspace you were in
Yeah.
in 2018.
Mhm,
Like what exactly weren't you proud of?
I wasn't proud that I was that I was operating at a lower frequency than I wanted to. I was too caught up in the negativity. But it's hard. Like it's hard to like there's no rubric for it. Like you gotta understand.
The negativity is the criticism.
The media negativity,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, like there's no way to prepare for it. So naturally, like when you're going through it, you think that, man, if all this hate is online, I'm seeing all this shit, like I'm thinking I'm about to go to my next show and get rocks thrown at me, you know, or like whatever. Like you just like, I remember going to do Coachella and being super concerned. Like
People really hate me.
Cause like it wasn't my show. It was a festival. So I'm like, I'm going to Coachella and I'm like, man,
Yeah,
I'm just
but you
hoping
wanna
that
get
this
booed.
I'm hoping that this goes okay. It was the most insane show ever.
Yeah, because what happens, and
Cause it doesn't, cause it's not real. Then
not
I
real
learned
life,
it's
man.
not real hate.
not.
But it's two
hate
ways.
is real life. This shit is
Hate-
just
the hate
clicks
might be
and
fake.
likes.
the hate might be fake or it might be on the internet, but it multiplies the love. It's like it's the same shit that happens with Trump. To be honest, is like the more people trash Trump,
Yeah.
the more his supporters
Want to go
ride.
hard.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh no, we're wearing the hat. We're
Yeah.
doing it all.
Right.
We're putting the
We're
bumper
doubling
stickers
down.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course the show's gonna be that much better because they're there like, nah, that's our guy.
But that's why I always give it up to the fans because they could easily, and I know I've lost fans to peer pressure. Like, you know, if I got a 16-year-old fan, it's really easy to be like, well, all my friends said that you suck, so I
yeah,
can't keep
but then they're
listening
not
to
the
you.
real ones.
Yeah.
No, they're not. But at the same time, the ones who stick around, to
Those
be
are
a
the ride or die,
17-year-old,
yeah.
18-year-old, whatever, and your friends say, yo, he's whack, I'm not going to the show with you, and you still pull up and you still go hard, like, it's just so real to me. So, yeah, I just wasn't proud of sinking into the negativity, and I wasn't proud that I wasn't taking care of myself as far as, like, I got burnt out. I got very burnt out as far as, like, I bought my house December 2017, all 2018, I was on the road and it was getting worked on. I didn't sleep in my house till January 2019. So I was just running around. Like I was just on go and I had no stability. There was no routine. It was just, you know, you're getting tugged this way and tugged that way. And before you know, your center is all off balance
yeah.
and you just feel burnt out and you feel like a fucking mess and you feel like, you know what? Fuck all y'all.
Well, you got nothing else
I'm
to
about
give.
to sit in my house for 6 months, which is what I did in 2019. I didn't do anything for the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Because I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to take some time for me
Yeah.
and actually enjoy my life, enjoy my pool, have girls over, record in my studio, like enjoy my life. Like,
Maybe you need a family, man. Stop wearing condoms. Like maybe you need.
See, now
I'm dead serious.
So am I.
Maybe
now,
you
this
need
is
a
this is a
family.
real conversation
Yes.
that I've had.
Maybe
This
you
is
need
a real,
family.
like I used 7 months ago, I'm not having kids, so I'm 35. Then I had a conversation with a girl and I had a conversation with Swiss Beats where it was like, life doesn't start until you start a life.
Absolutely. 'Cause you talk about having a center. Like I know for me, my stability, my center is my family. Like you say, you're coming home, but you're coming to a house.
Yeah. And
Not
it's
a
an
home.
empty house.
Yeah, it's not a home.
It's a
yet.
hotel.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
not a home until you got a queen and you got
Yeah.
a child. Like it'll
Yeah.
give you a real purpose.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a real thought that I've had because I've also been like, man, the only thing left for me to do is everything I've already done. Like everything I wanted to do, I've already done. The only thing left is to get a Grammy.
Mhm.
Outside of that, I
You
have
really want one of
Why
those
give a
shit?
Yeah.
fuck?
You strike me as the person that would
Yeah,
not
who
give
cares?
a fuck about that kind of validation.
Because I want to prove to myself that I was right when I was fucking 15.
You already
But you
did.
are right. You
no,
sell
about
at the
that
arenas.
too. No, I know about that too, though.
Oh, you mean that was something you had on your vision
that was
board?
always something I had on my thing. So I just
Got you.
I want
But it's
one and then I'm
fake.
fine.
Yeah.
But it's fake.
Trust me,
bullshit.
I know,
It's
but it's
just
like
to reinforce the people
nah, I
that
want
they
it
want to
though.
win.
I want it.
Why?
I want it because my ego. I want it.
That's real.
But why does it define you?
It doesn't.
It's
My
like your
ego
name on
needs
the
it.
pool table.
No,
Who
it's my
gives a
ego.
fuck?
You know what? That's
He's
what's
feeding
crazy.
his ego. Listen,
That's what's crazy. It's literally it's my ego needs it and then be gone, die. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
So you want to get it and then do the whole Jay-Z.
it's
oh,
almost
here's
like
a
I
sippy
have
cup.
one debt left to pay to my ego, and it's to get a Grammy.
That's what you think, and then you're gonna be like, I need something else though.
that's real though.
Yeah, I owe my ego that. He's like, yo, listen, you still owe me.
Here's a question: do you think that the hate comes from people resisting change?
I just think at the end of the day, bro, I'm in hip hop. I'm a white guy, and I'm talking a whole lot of
Are you
shit.
white?
I didn't know you was white, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm
I found out you were
Sicilian.
white at the end of
Sicilian.
2019.
Sicilian.
That's what I yeah.
You're the blackest white.
I agree.
Well, Sicilian.
I mean, Sicilians,
Italians
yeah,
are
but I'm
off white though.
but this is the off-white of
Italians
off-whites.
don't like to be called white.
Bro, but the Sicilians, they got a little black in them.
Well, if you go back to the Moors and
The Moors were out there,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
asking permission.
yeah, that's a real like that's when you do the ancestry on it. It's like the Moors came to Sicily, took over. That's why Italians went from blonde hair, blue eyes to dark hair, dark eyes.
But the perception, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but-
white guy,
No,
long
but like,
hair. Yeah.
and that's what it is. And so I understand it's like, yo, like let's just call it what it is. Culture is a euphemism for black. Urban is a euphemism for black. So when you have a white guy coming into the culture, a black space, trying to speak on black things, it's like, bro, shut up. You might be right, but we don't want to hear it from you, which I absolutely understand and I get. So that's why
Nah, I've
I'm not
seen
tripping.
I've seen you post that I've commented on. Like, yeah, I'm glad Russ said
Yeah.
that. I can't remember the exact post what it was. It was something about
Everybody should say the N-word or something.
no, shut up. It was about
Jesus
white
Christ.
artists. Yeah, Nigerian. That's what. Yeah, white artists and culture. It was something I can't remember exactly what it was. Everybody gave you props for that though.
probably about how I was talking about just label owners are these white guys
Boom. That's what it was.
who sign black kids that they wouldn't even want their kids hanging out
Exactly.
with, but they just do it to make the money. Which is true. And that's why it's like, you know, white people historically steal from black culture.
Right.
That's a fact. So America was founded off of terrorism and thief. like
So it's
behavior.
like
I mean,
old-
that's all cultures, right? I don't think there's any culture that was
well,
just
no,
like,
but you gotta look
look at the Roman Empire, right? They didn't do that.
But
like,
you got to look at
kindly.
you got to look at even how what the 2020 white girl wants to look like.
yeah.
she wants to look cool.
No, she wants to look black.
Well, blacks
That's
define
what-
cool.
That's
Yeah.
that's
So
what I'm
we're
saying. But it's-
attracted to cool. Like,
no, but like the problem is that the
Yeah.
same thing that black
you.
women will get hindered from, which are just natural, beautiful black features.
It won't be
is the-
accepted
Is
until
the
it's-
same thing
yeah.
white people will use to sprinkle onto their whiteness to just look
right.
cooler.
100%.
And
I
that's
guess.
the
I guess
problem.
what I think we get lost in the idea that black people are a monolith, right? Because not all black people are going to dress the same or look the same, etc.
No.
But cool is cool regardless, right? So like,
Sure.
if you go to Korea, you're gonna see a bunch of Korean kids
dressed like
doing-
black kids.
dressing black kids doing fucking what is it,
Yeah.
breakdancing?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Got cornrows.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, that's the cool culture. That's what we're drawn to.
I think
You know what I mean?
think now I'm probably speaking a little bit out of turn, but I don't think black people have a problem with y'all doing that. I think it's more about they have a problem with if y'all are doing that and being accepted, then why when we do that we get chastised for that.
I think that's part of it.
You know?
Also, not wanting people to revise history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this was the genesis of this culture. This was the genesis of this music. It was rooted in blackness. And a lot of times we all know they like to rewrite history.
And that's what it is. And that's why it's like, I understand that, you know, and that when I said like historically white people steal from black culture, like when you look at hip hop was, you know, for us by us. It was black created and black owned, and it was created for black people. And so when you have somebody white coming into it, it's kind of like, here we go again, you know? And so I understand that it's delicate and it's, and if you're white in hip hop, you have to contribute to, black culture in some sort of fashion. Otherwise, you are simply repeating history by coming into black culture, using that as a medium to steal and profit for self.
Yeah, I think it's like anything else. You gotta point where the originators, point where your inspiration came from. Like your inspiration came from this black artist, that black artist. It's just to me, it's just like by paying homage. To be honest,
no, that's cool. But you also, I think it's also about the music. You can't come into this from the vessel of hip hop and use the clothes and the language and the music, and then go off and start doing something.
It's weird.
Are you talking about Post Malone?
No, I mean, I think
sounds very posty.
Nah, but I think that's a fair example because I do think it's an interesting thing to look at from that lens of where, you know, you come in with braids and golds to the point people are thinking you're mixed, and now, you know, you drink Bud Light and wear cowboy boots and stuff, which is like cool. Like your music's phenomenal. I think Post Malone's music is phenomenal, but I think the caricature of how it came in compared to where it is now seems a little it's a little interesting.
With this
it was
guy,
White
and
Iverson.
He was white again.
Yeah, it's just
you know what I'm saying. White Iverson was his first song.
Yeah,
like,
it's just.
But he
it's
got
just
out of there.
But he
But
makes
smart
the
for him
thing
to get
is
out of there.
the thing is he makes great music. You know, he makes great music and he's super talented. But yeah, I just think certain things like that, you know, those are fair critiques as far as like, yo, it feels like you came in and used hip hop because it's the coolest genre and the coolest look and aesthetic. You used it to propel yourself to the forefront, and then you reverted back to who you really were. You know, which
and shit on hip hop in the process.
Yeah,
you know?
so I think that's a fair critique, but that's why I feel like for me, I just think it's going to be time. And as far as like, man, Russ has been putting out quality hip hop. Like I feel like I do hip hop justice. I don't make a mockery of it. I don't portray any negative stereotypes. I don't feed into it. Like I could go and post myself in the Gucci store spending $30K because even though Gucci's racist, I'm white. They're not racist to me. So I could do it. But at the same time, if I'm in hip hop culture, which is black culture, and Gucci's being racist, I can't be in the Gucci store blowing $30K.
You feel responsibility
I do,
to the black
because
culture,
otherwise it's just like, oh, so you get to eat off of hip hop culture, but when someone is being disrespectful towards it, you're like, no, that they're not being disrespectful towards me. I'm white.
Yeah, so even when you see other black artists still wearing Gucci and stuff, you'll still say, nope, I'm not gonna do it.
I can't because then it just looks like it's all pros and no cons for you. You know, so I just think you got to just be aware of what's going on. I just feel like I do hip hop justice by speaking about the ownership of what needs to happen, because I also think that the solution to young, disadvantaged black kids getting taken advantage of by white label owners.
Lack of information.
Is lack of information, and the solution is ownership. The solution is owning your music, putting it out, the internet, having your fans, shooting the videos, going on tour. Like, you don't have to deal with them, but the solution is ownership. So I just think that I do hip hop justice. I have a message, like, and I've said it before, like, y'all talk about, you know, which is fine, spending $13,000 in the Gucci store. I brag about 13,000 hard tickets. And I feel like if that makes me arrogant, then I suggest you move the goalposts. Because why is $13,000 in a Gucci store towards a company who doesn't like black people? Why is that received so much better than somebody saying you should be bragging about selling 13,000 tickets?
Do you guys think in the future, like, rap music will just become so synonymous with American culture that someone like you won't feel like an outsider in it in the same way that like
I think it's there now.
basketball is so synonymous with American culture.
I don't think it's a bad thing to feel like an outsider. I think that's white people's problem. Here's the problem with white people.
Right.
Like everything, white people are included in everything. Hip hop's
Right.
the one thing, and saying the N word is the thing that they're not included in, and they feel just like disgusted.
Stupid
and
hill to
offended.
die on.
And it's like,
Right.
it's like, yo, for once, you know what? Yeah, this isn't for you. It's not by you. And that's what it is. And it's okay to feel like an outsider. Like minorities have been the outsider to everything forever. So you know what?
Right.
If hip hop is the one thing where white people are the outsiders in, I don't know if that balance should shift. I'm fine with being the outsider. I just want to contribute in a positive way. And I do want my credit for contributing in a positive way. Now, I would understand, right? If I came into this face tatted, rock, like wearing the hip hop costume, braid, face tatted, and I'm talking about this type of shit, and I'm doing this, just, if I was on that type of aesthetic, but I'm not a gimmick. I'm not making a mockery of hip hop or black culture. I'm trying to do it justice by, staying true to the message of hip hop, which I think is underdog and freedom and ownership. And I just think that, I'm cool with being an outsider as long as it's acknowledged that I am trying to help.
If you won a Grammy, say it was in the best, what is it, hip hop rap category, whatever.
Yeah.
If you wanted the one Tyler won, would you be upset?
No, because I feel like the music that I make is hip hop music.
Yeah. Did you see what Tyler said?
I do, but Tyler's spot on. And
Okay, talk to me.
I've always said too that, I just said it in this interview too, that culture and urban is a euphemism.
Mm-hmm.
So that like white corporate people, when you go to the label meetings and it's all these white guys who play softball on Sundays and they're like, our urban department, it's like, say what you really mean. Urban is just another word.
I think they used to. And then people were like, stop saying that.
So like, well, we got to think of something.
Started with that word, and they were like, whoa, chill the fuck out. I mean, white people are
Is there
pretty
another
open.
word with an N in it?
Yeah.
Maybe put the N at the end.
We'll take the
Yeah, but I don't like the word urban because it sounds biographical. What does that have to do with music?
Well, yeah, because
geographical.
Geographical.
So I wouldn't feel away, but I will say on my first album, There's Really a Wolf, you submit it to the Grammys and then they listen to it and choose to put it somewhere. So like that's the other thing people don't understand too. When you submit your music for the Grammys, you have to first of all, you have to pick what you're submitting, then you submit, then it's all these industry voters and whatever. They're in a hotel in LA and they have rooms designated for this room. Y'all are just listening to the pop submissions and whatever.
So Tyler could have not submitted to hip hop if he wanted to.
No, he could have submitted to whatever he wanted and
So
they
just pop.
could have decided that no, it's hip hop.
So they could still move it.
Yes. So when I submitted my There's Really a Wolf album to hip hop, they moved it to urban contemporary.
What?
Yeah, because they said it was too much singing to be rap. But now with the Tyler situation, Tyler's album was majority singing.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, so what do you really mean? What it really means is like, I don't know if we can call the black kid pop, and I don't know if we can call the white kid rap.
Yeah, that's been
Is
going
what
on
it
at
is.
radio for the longest too.
Well,
Like,
radio is still race related. Urban radio
That's a fact.
is black dominated, and rhythm is where we all hang out together, and pop is top 40 is white. That's why at the end of the day, I'm not, I'm fully aware why my song Best on Earth is now top 10 at urban radio. There's
Wait, why is it urban?
There's an urban.
I hate that word, bro.
Black people live in the city?
There's an urban
that the
artist
idea?
on my song. I'm not surprised that when you look at even, I always use this example, Machine Gun Kelly, who raps, right? He's a rapper.
Yeah.
Raps super well, technically raps great. He had songs with Camila Cabello or whatever that were number one at top 40. Nothing on urban. So how do you have a rapper on pop radio, but not on urban? And then vice versa, you have Post Malone, who doesn't rap, but gets Quavo and 21, which is the urban play.
Yeah.
And that's why it shoots up the urban charts. You feel me? It's just playing the game, which I understand. I get it, but it is bizarre that it's still so separated at radio.
But
But
maybe people like to see themselves reflected, right?
it's just audience.
You remember
Radio's all about audience.
Remember Jeremy
though,
Lin
too.
played basketball for
Yeah.
the Knicks?
Yeah, of course.
And you remember how
Linsanity.
crazy it was,
Come on.
Linsanity?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I would go to games and that shit felt like 50% Asian. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And they just felt represented there, right?
Sure.
It wasn't like they hated watching black basketball players or white basketball players.
They just felt spoken for.
They felt spoken for. So maybe there's some white people that, when they watched Eminem, they were like, well, this is the first time I feel
they feel like they can
rapping along
Well, that's
with
why
it.
I've had the conversation of, when people
Maybe
are
with
like,
you too.
Well, when people are like, being white, does it make it easier? And it's like 100% it makes it easier to be global, because the reality is that the white kids in Belgium are going to relate to me more than maybe a Quavo off rip.
Yeah.
Because like when they see me, they see themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense now. So it makes it easier to be global, which it's probably why I can go to Portugal for my first time and do the arena and sell it out.
Humble brag.
But at the same time, but there's the hip hop media who still says, who's Russ? Because why? The same thing working for me globally is the same thing working against me hip hop wise, which makes sense because hip hop it's black culture. So if it's easier for me to reach the global masses, which are, the white kids in Belgium and Germany, but harder for me to reach the real essence of hip hop, which is black culture, that makes sense. And I can't be mad at that.
And the hip hop media probably thinks all your success comes from being white.
Which that is a fair critique. I can't sit here and stomp my feet. That is a fair critique, which is why I just always resorted back to though. But look what I'm talking about. Look at my messages, which is ownership, self-belief, and ownership is the key. And I'm not talking about blowing money at designers that don't like you and all these things. It's like, resorted back to what I'm talking about. I'm not coming in.
Why is it a fair critique? Because
it's a fair critique because if I was black, would I be selling out the same shows in Portugal, or would I be this? I'll tell you why. Because a big reason why my first huge fan base in the Middle East was huge because they thought I was Middle Eastern.
Oh, let me take that back.
So if I was black, would they have thought I was Middle Eastern?
No, but you might not be selling out those shows in Portugal, but you might be selling out those shows in black and brown spaces.
100%. Well, that's when you give it and take. It's just like if I was black,
everything is actually a really big benefit.
It's kind of like obvious because it's like if I was black, I would be bigger in black spaces, but because I'm white, I'm bigger in white spaces, and that's why I can't sit here and be like, but why am I not bigger in black, bro? Because you're not black. Like it's just that simple.
Or maybe black people just don't know yet. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying, I can't get frustrated about that because that is a fair thing. That's that's fair.
This goes back to the
like,
house situation too, though.
It goes back to white people thinking that everything is owed to them and like, how dare you exclude me from your conversation of, it's like,
but you gotta appreciate your audience, regardless of who they are.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
which is why like, I focus on my audience, but you can't stomp your feet and be like, but like, why don't y'all fuck with me? Why don't y'all know? It's like, bro, like, give it time and also cut the entitlement out. You're not entitled to a certain demographic just because you think you're dope.
It's such an interesting conversation for me though, because I see black artists who want more white fans.
Yeah.
And then I see black artists who have a bunch of white fans who want more black fans.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And then like even at radio, when you talk about, I remember when Rihanna would never get played on hip hop and R&B stations.
Right.
Because she made pop music.
Sure.
So the pop stations used to just play Rihanna, hip hop wouldn't, which I used to didn't like because the pop stations would play Katy Perry. And if she put Juicy J on the record, the hip hop stations would play her too.
Right.
So I didn't like that.
But that's the obvious, that's what people do though. That's why like you see, when, and I love like, I also wish that there was a more, because before I'm about to say what I'm about to say, I wish there was a more accepting space for artists to speak openly about other artists and certain moves without it always getting taken as hate and I can't fuck with you. Like there should be more Shaqs and Charles Barkleys in music where, no, we're playing the game too. Like I'm speaking from a place of experience. Can I just speak openly though?
Go ahead, Russ. Speak openly.
So like same thing with Katy Perry and Juicy J. It's the same reason why you see Sia put Kendrick on the song. Same reason why Maroon 5 goes and gets Cardi B. It's because it's mutually beneficial. So Cardi B gets all the white fans from Maroon 5. Maroon 5 gets to go and get all the black fans from Cardi B.
Got you.
And it's a win-win.
But is it mutual? I mean, like...
It is mutual.
Hold on. Do you really think that all of Cardi B's fans are going, I got to check out that Maroon 5 concert coming up?
I can tell you that Maroon 5 has a better chance of getting Cardi B's fans by doing a song with Cardi B.
Who's getting more? I feel like... that way benefits Cardi.
Maybe,
I think that
but at the end of the day,
Cardi
it
for
also
cool
makes, That's what it is.
Maybe
though.
it's not.
But
It's
it's
not a
not
give and take.
fans.
That's what I'm saying. I was about to say the same
It's
thing.
not
It's
the
not a give and
exact same
take.
thing.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
no,
Cardi
it's not,
is cool to
It's
everybody.
not that black and white, but what it is that pop artists, this is traditional. Pop artists have always used hip hop artists, black artists to look cool.
Yes,
Right.
That's
and
a
that's
fact.
because pop was never the cool thing.
Right.
Pop was always the kind of like your top 40 and corny.
Yeah.
I love Maroon 5 though, and I love top 40
Yeah.
music, but top 40 was always, it's not cool. Hip hop is cool. So
Yeah.
cool. Let's take a not cool thing, mix it with a cool thing, and maybe we'll end up somewhere in the middle.
Because
what
you
is this-
can't be mainstream and cool. Those things don't go together.
But do they? I'm about to say, what does hip hop do now that it's pop music?
Well,
Hip-
I mean,
hip-hop
it's
is
up to
pop.
y'all, but
It is, but
Not
hip-
because of the sound,
you don't
but just
wanna
because it's the
be.
most popular genre.
hip hop
lose
is,
the
but that's,
influence
no,
once
but
you
that's
become
what's beautiful
pop
is that hip hop is so cool that it is the most popular thing now.
Yeah.
yeah, but if you call it pop, it loses all the cool. Like
That's why you can't call
be
it
cool
pop,
unless
though.
you're different. You can't be cool, like you said, unless you're the underdog, right?
Sure.
You can't be cool if you're doing something that nobody else is
Well,
doing.
that's
That's what makes something cool.
Well, that's why you have to be careful with your creative and artistic decisions, because before you know it, you've done too many mainstream looks and you are no longer that cool.
Right.
You're not cool to your core.
Right.
That's
but
when
you're
your
not
core
cool
flip
to-
on you.
No, you're
now
not cool to all the people.
No,
even the
I'm
ones
gonna
that
tell you
don't
why
know
though.
about
Because
you.
when your core flips on you,
Yeah.
then all those people that weren't your core, they like, oh,
Right.
she's not cool no more.
Yeah,
Right.
they
The
say
core
you're not cool.
exactly.
Because the world of music revolves around hip hop. As far as what's cool, like what are we saying now? Hey, everyone, what are we saying? How are we dressing now? What do we do? Like they look to hip hop for what to do, what to wear, what to say, the whole thing. But the second you become not cool to hip hop is the second you're just not cool in general, and you better just go over there, sit with the guitar, and sing some pop songs,
Right.
and try and make some shit shake.
How do you forgive yourself, Russ, for your past unhealthy mindsets? How do you forgive yourself?
Because I'm still here and I'm alive and my family's healthy and I still have everything I want. I realize that, the worst moment in life that happens, like the sun comes up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like you still end up having to go through it. So it's just always a little bullet points. Like, yeah, that was really fucked up, but you know what? I did make it through. I'm standing here today. And I can't let that like define me. You just you gotta grow from it and just forgive yourself. I look back at certain interviews or certain things I said and I'm like, nah, you know what? I get it. I understand that guy was headhunting. That's why I say in the flute song, I've been on my Kobe number 8 shit, because it's like when Kobe was number 8, he was headhunting, trying to prove himself in the league. And when I first came into this, I was very much so like in survival mode. Like, nah, I gotta prove to everyone that like, you guys are only doing 1,000 tickets. I'm doing 1,001 tickets and did it, like all these things just to try and prove that I belong and like solidify my spot. But then time passes and you realize your spot isn't going anywhere. You're in your own lane. And you're like, man, I was kind of like going pretty hard. But I forgive myself because I should have been going that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I should have been. But now it's just about growing and kind of settling in and just taking your coat off,
What about the people you had to beat up, man?
I don't forgive.
How many people?
I think I've seen 2 videos.
How many people got beat up?
I've seen 2.
I don't know.
I saw the most recent one. I can't remember what year that was.
What was the most recent one?
When the guy was standing outside the trailer. Was that Smoke Perp? That wasn't Smoke Perp, was it?
No, that was Guap Dad.
Well, I don't see it. I'm old. I don't know.
Well, I mean, my whole thing is
I
like,
just know that's Russ. I'm like, look at Russ.
I forgive.
My guy.
So what's going on? What's going on?
There's absolutely
Whose
nothing
globe are
going
you
on.
shaking? So what happened? They're talking
You
shit.
never saw that one?
No, I didn't. I'm like
The guy was standing outside the trailer.
Yeah.
Russ approached him like the
I
fine
thought I
gentleman
had a
he
good
is.
inspiration. A sweet guy, made nice music.
Russ wanted to have a conversation with
Right.
him. And I don't know what the guy said to you, but clearly you didn't like what he said.
No, it was more. It just comes down to this, right? Like, I feel like we're all. I hate when people are like, I'm a grown ass man. I hate that because it's like, what are you trying to overcompensate for? But we're all grown ass men, and it's like, if I don't know you and you don't know me, we don't have mutual friends, we've never talked before, and you diss me in a song. Now, granted, is a diss like "fuck you and your mom forever"? Nah, but it's like it wasn't a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a diss. So if you just diss some random rapper or some random man that you don't know in a song, and then your trailer's across from mine, and you see me walking up to you with 20 people, and you know that like I have no interaction with you prior to any of this. All you know is that here comes a guy that I dissed in a song.
Y'all never met before that or anything?
Ever.
Jesus.
So it's like, what do you think? this is about to be.
Yeah.
And it's
A
just like
prayer circle.
and
Clearly, all of these
and-
guys are
and-
here for
Gonna be
prayer.
fire.
I was asking for the feature.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Loved it.
no, but it's like, even with Smoke Perp, I never really intended it to go there. I was Perp with him. I approached them face to face and I just asked like, yo, what's up? What was that about? What was this about? Same thing with Bobcat. I just asked him what was it about. And
What's the confusion?
and I just said, why I mentioned my name in the song. And he puts his phone down and pulls his pants up and starts turning his head. And if somebody that you diss that you don't know from anywhere is in your face talking to you and you're turning your head and doing this, pulling up your pants, I'm thinking,
You about to fight?
oh, you're about to swing on me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck, I wasn't even trying to go there, but I'm definitely not getting hit in my mouth. So I'm gonna hit you in yours.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
all it was. But it didn't have to go there. You could have been like, yo, my fault. That was some dumb shit. My fault. I shouldn't even mention you. Why am I a grown ass man thinking about another grown ass man while I'm writing a verse? That's a little weird. And it could have just been that.
In this era of the internet, it is always better to swing first. Now, I'm not encouraging violence. I'm just telling you that when the cameras are out, right? If Russ would have hesitated just a little bit
Yikes.
and this guy swings, then people come to break it up. Now the headline says, yo, Guap Dad swings on
Right.
Russ.
Put it like this. If I got swung on,
Yeah.
the same hate would have happened except worse. They would have just been like, you got beat up.
Russ got stomped out.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, shit, at least you could say whatever. And the whole narrative, you're getting people jumped. It's like,
Who
bro,
cares?
what are you talking about? Getting people jumped? If first of all, if I swing and then my friends and your friends start fighting, I don't know if is that getting somebody jumped.
Did he have a lot
Russ.
of friends with him too?
He had people with him, and the craziest thing, I don't want to stay on this too long, but the craziest thing is when I swung on him, he ran, which you can see in the video. He ran,
We saw it.
Right.
and his skinny ass white friend photographer stayed back and was fucking with it. Which we were all like, yo, we should hire him. He's fire. He stayed behind and took your ass beating.
Yeah.
How you let this skinny ass
Yeah.
white kid take your ass
Are
beating?
you
and
saying
ran
white
off?
people are more brave than black people? Is that what you're coming out here saying on this podcast right now?
I just thought that.
You must not see who's backing Russ.
I just thought that.
Dude,
Better,
maybe
Russ,
white
better look
people-
at Russ's black up. All right. Okay.
Bro, white people do steal shit from black people. They steal ass beatings.
fuck.
They steal all the things, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up
but
situation.
I thought that was pretty telling.
Yeah.
Do you think that y'all could ever be cool? You think you could be cool with any of these guys moving forward?
I'm not a hater, so I always say, if Smoke Perp dropped a hard ass song today, I'm bumping.
Yeah.
I thought Guap Dad wearing a 10-foot durag was sick. I commented on the Instagram post. I was like, this is amazing.
You said that?
Yeah.
What people say? I didn't even see that. What did people say when you said that?
I don't know. I didn't
This
look
is
back.
amazing.
It was amazing. That's fire. I'm not a hater, but you disrespected me and you dissed me. And then when I walk up to you, you start acting weird. So I'm just going to handle it accordingly. And if that means whatever, then it means whatever. And if I'm Guap Dad, I'm probably like, fuck you for life too, which I get. But at least you know now, at the end of the day, bro, all these people, I never started with them. I didn't say shit to y'all. Y'all dissed somebody, called me out my name, and you got punched in the face for it. Move on. It's not a big
Question,
deal.
how long does a jumping last?
It wasn't a jumping.
Or just like a squabble like that? At what point do you all
You
right, I
didn't see the
think
video?
we're done punching? What?
You see the video?
No, but he ran away.
Oh, he was running. You guys aren't quick? What's going on, guys?
No, I'm saying you could watch
He's
the
turning this. They turn their head like, yo, bro, what are you talking about, bro?
No, but I'm saying
They
you
hide their
could
face.
Get them on some cardio, bro.
No, but I'm saying you could watch the video. He ran away. His friend stayed back to fight. He ran away, which I get, I guess, but it's it wasn't that serious. I only swung because I thought you were gonna swing. I should wait for you to swing.
Yeah, no, never wait.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't want to encourage violence, but
neither do I. But you know what? Here's what I
Unless
always
people
Here's
rap
what
about you,
here's
though.
why I just want to end it and then let's move on. But the reality is, a lot of people, because I'm me and it's easy to be like fuck Russ, L Russ, da 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 da. That's nice. Go to chapter 1. Just ask this person, this grown ass man, Guap Dad or Smoke Perp or Adam 22 or whoever. Just ask them, yo, why did you randomly just start talking shit about another grown ass man who you've never met?
Right.
Just ask them that, because if
You
not
think
for
it's
that,
something sexual?
if not for
Is
that,
what you think it is?
if not for
No,
that,
I'm being serious. Why do you think?
because it's easy. Because I'm telling you, because it's
Oh, you
easy.
think they're taking advantage? They think it's just
easy,
you,
bro.
Yeah,
I'm white, I'm short, I
Right.
sing love songs sometimes.
Yeah.
It's easy, bro. I get it.
They
You
think
feel
it's an
me?
easy lick. They think
I
it's an
get
easy.
it.
I'm gonna say this. People gonna think I'm real.
And
I'm gonna get
it's
retweets.
you
I'm
know
gonna get
what, bro?
likes.
Yeah.
People can say whatever they want to say. At the end of the day, at least you know that if you diss Russ in his song, there is a high chance you're gonna get punched in the mouth for it.
Now,
Can you jump no jumper?
Yeah.
What?
Can you jump no jumper?
Is that a trick question?
Y'all beat up Adam?
Oh, I don't know. Did
No,
you?
I'm just saying that's what he.
Yeah.
But like, me
Have
and
y'all
Adam,
ever had a conversation?
Yeah, me and Adam talked,
Yeah.
and it was like, and we squashed everything, and we're cool.
Was this after he saw what you was working with as far as your crew?
Yeah, like no, me and Adam are cool
Yeah.
as far as I know. But it's just like I just think it is unfortunate for it to ever go to a violent place. But
Right.
unfortunately, for a lot of people, that is the only language they understand.
Why
Money
is
and
that?
violence.
Because it's like it's not real enough till it's on your doorstep.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool, you could tweet back at me all day. I've never once like, I don't know, I'm not doing the Twitter shit with y'all. So
I want to talk to you about a couple more things. You have discussed openly, your problem with artists promoting drug usage.
yeah.
So when you see a Mac Miller pass away,
Mhm.
rest in peace, Mac Miller. When you see a Juice WRLD,
And Lexi,
from Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
When you see these people pass away,
mhm.
I don't want to say, I don't think spiking the football is the right word. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
is there a reason to come back and say, look, this is what I was trying
No,
to
like
explain to
I
y'all?
told you so moment. No, because I think that's distasteful. But I think that it is, it's sad that happened. And I think unfortunately a lot of times with them, I don't know if it was so much of a crazy addiction problem with like a Mac Miller or a Lexi, or now I don't know. I'm just like hypothetically, I don't know, but or if it was just one night you took one too many things and you're partying and just fuck. It's a Len Bias situation. You take coke one time in your life and then it just fucks up. But I will say that I did find it sad that it took that and then a Juice WRLD situation for a lot of artists who have tried to, reprimand me publicly. It took that for them to come out and say, man, I've been fucking up talking about drugs and this is whack and I'm going to go to rehab now. And it's like, oh, so that's what it took.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to remind people though, right?
No,
You
but
got
it's
to
like-
remind people that this is what I was trying to
No,
tell
but the reality
y'all.
is like, unfortunately, for a lot of artists who had a problem with me saying what I said about rappers glorifying drug abuse as if it's a game, it took 3 overdoses for y'all to finally hold yourselves accountable, which I think is pathetic.
But it's like what you said about being on your doorstep. Then people
Well,
realize.
because then it's like your friend died, so now you're like, oh shit, I should stop posting pictures smiling next to Lean like it's cool. And you know what? I'm tripping. I got kids looking up to me. It's like, damn, bro, it took you 3 overdoses for you to realize that you have kids looking up to you. Do you not look at your followers? I don't get it.
Do you get caught up in it though when you listen to like a Future song and it's great music?
It makes it sound cool.
And it sounds, I don't even know half the things he's saying in the song. It just sounds fun.
Yeah, no, it sounded fun. That's why when I was 19, me and my friend, we wanted to go try Lean because it sounded fun. And then we just didn't do it. And people got on me for that when that clip went kind of around the internet. Like, how you 19 like you're a grown ass man, 19 talking about you were influenced to do something. Like, I'm like, wait a second. Is there an age limit on when you can be influenced to do something?
Or
So you can't like, if you're 35 and you listen to a rap song that makes you want to go do something positive, you're whack. You shouldn't be impressionable at 35. It's like, bro, like there's no age limit on when
Good
you can be
ideas.
influenced by. Like 19 and you're acting like I was 39 talking about, you made me want to try Lean. Like I was 19 and y'all are 35 tempted to scam because you heard it. So shut up.
how do you counter that in your music? How do you counter the celebration of the drug culture in your music? Because I feel like it's got to be records that encourage people not to do it, right?
Yeah, but then that comes off a little too. I do have a song called, that's not out, it's over a Boy Wonder beat called The Kids that kind of speaks on it a lot, but you don't want to come off too like wagging the finger and preachy, but you just kind of want to provide an alternative, like a different song that, isn't talking about that. But I do think artists need to hold themselves accountable. And I love Future's music too. I think Future making it and grinding and doing all that is great. But I do think at the end of the day, if we're just being real, you have to hold yourself accountable as a 36-year-old man or whatever he is, and someone who's come on an interview and said that you don't even do the drugs you were talking about. Which all that says is that you're literally just doing it to poison and entertain. And I don't know if that's great because
No, it's not great.
at that point, the culture is hyena driven. It's we eat our own because you have come on an interview and said, no, I'm not even doing the drugs I'm rapping about. I just know y'all want to hear that, which really says to me, I'm not getting high. I'm not overdosing. Y'all are. That's great. I'm going to keep giving you the background music for it because it makes me money. That's a part of the problem.
We've seen this movie before, though. I mean, you had rappers back in the day who would rap about all of this gangster shit that they was doing,
Yeah.
and they weren't. but they was,
But they got people locked up in the process.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know, and
they
they were
got
doing it
people
all for
killed.
just entertainment. Look, I have no problem with so-called negative.
Can I cut you off
Okay,
real
go
quick?
ahead.
Because because I know what people are going to say to that, which is, well, if someone makes you want to go do something fucked up because of a rap song, then you're weak-minded.
No.
It's like, okay, but hold on a second.
Mm.
Does someone make you want to go do something positive in a rap song? Does that mean you're weak-minded? Because influence is influence. Influence has no negativity or positivity. If you listen to a song and it makes you want to go do something, if you listen to Changes by Tupac and it makes you want to go be positive,
Yeah.
does that mean you're weak-minded? No. So just on the flip side, it doesn't,
Humans are impressionable.
that's what
I
it
don't give
is.
a fuck what age
and music
you are.
is supposed to inspire. Artists are inspiring people. Music is inspiring.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with your platform because you have to understand that it might inspire you to do something negative
Yeah.
or bad. If I make a song called Go Get Money and then I make a song called Go Do Lean, I can't be like, you're weak-minded if you only listen to the Go Do Lean version. Like, no, bro.
People are impressionable.
Like,
People
come
are
on.
influenced. I mean, that's why we have advertisements. If
That's
you
it.
couldn't,
That's what
influence
commercials
them.
are every day.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a
And
reason
songs-
Car
why.
commercials,
And
And low
McDonald's.
key, maybe we should look at athletes like that too. Because every time I see LeBron like in a McDonald's commercial, I'm like, you don't eat this shit.
Right.
You know, like, so it's like you are the pinnacle of health,
Right.
right? And you out here telling kids to eat shit that's giving them heart attacks. So it's right.
I thought about that shit last night when I got off the plane. McDonald's is the only thing open. And I was like, I should go get some fucking fries and a quarter
Right.
pounder. LeBron eats that shit.
LeBron
I
eats
swear,
that shit.
I thought about that shit.
LeBron is in the
last night.
McDonald's?
all of them, yeah.
I was like, nah,
But
he'll
I
eat
think
that shit.
I think especially in hip hop, songs are commercials for the lifestyle, and so I think that if your song, which is the commercial for the lifestyle you're selling, if your song is talking about using drugs or whatever, you cannot be surprised that people watched your commercial, aka your song, and was like, wow, that sounds like a great idea. And then you turn around and be like, y'all shouldn't do it though. I always say you can't live this, do as I say, not as I do. Like
Yeah.
you can't live like that.
That's
It's
what my
not
dad used to tell me when I was selling
Same.
crack. Don't do what I do as I say. Hey, you sell crack too, man. I don't hear that shit.
Right. But it's like my dad used to tell me too. You can't I couldn't tell my little sister, do as I say, not as I do. Like my actions speak. So, you could be on the gram all day telling people, don't give money to these designers. They don't fuck with you and don't buy jewelry. Don't waste your money on it. But if your selfie video is coming from a place of you're wearing Gucci and 10 chains on your neck, I don't know if it really resonates.
Right.
It just seems a little fake. You feel me? It's entertainment. It's sad because when you're young, not even when you're young, but just humans are impressionable and it's hard to discern what you should and shouldn't do. And if you don't want to be looked up to and if you don't want to be a place or a source of inspiration, then stop rapping. You
Yeah.
feel me? Then stop rapping. But you cannot get on a song, promote something in your music, and then be surprised when people turn around and do it. You are part of the problem. It's that simple.
That's why you can't say you're not a role model. Because you are, whether you
are.
want to
Whether
be or
you-
not.
It comes with the dinner. You have millions of people looking at you. That's a role model. Like, deal with it. Like look at Wiz. Wiz had the whole fucking world with the blonde streak in their hair wearing Chuck Taylors. You know what I'm saying? Which is fire.
I thought that
Like,
was a birth defect. I didn't know he was actually. I didn't know he was dying it. I thought like how some people have like patches. They're
Sure.
like they have no
Right.
pigment in their
like
hair.
like a vitiligo
Yeah, I
situation.
thought it was like
But
a hair vitiligo, and then someone was like, "No, it's a choice." I was like, "All right." I
Yeah,
guess
no,
that's
but
cool.
it's like that type of thing. Like that's influence, and so when
course.
when Tyler the Creator has people who dress like him, like all these things, you're influencing people. So if you think that, I know for me when I put out music and it's these, the times where it's these inspirational songs and the do it myself and the manifests and it's on your head, that's gonna inspire someone to go and do something positive. But
Right.
as easy as I can make you want to go, fuck the world up and be great and just seize the day, is as easy as you could go, I could inspire you to go do some fuck shit. And artists trying to like shy away from like, I just rap about it, but like don't do it. It's like,
No.
what?
Yo,
Your
that's-
music has more influence on
Than
you
you.
than you do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. doesn't make
there's-
any sense.
It's funny. It's like,
And I'm not like, I'm never, once again, that is not going to go over well. I'm letting y'all know now when y'all watch this, I'm aware you're going to have an issue. But the reality is that it's the truth. And when 20 years pass, I'm on the right side of the fence. Because I don't need to wait for overdoses to happen to be like, wow, maybe we should be careful about what we're talking about. Like, y'all, like, get with the program. You feel me?
that's the funniest part when like rappers start supporting politicians. And like you see all these rappers coming out and talking about different people. Like, oh, how could Trump speak this way? It's like, do you listen to you? Like, he talks about women. It's like, listen to one song that you have.
After what happened with Joe Rogan last week, I'm shocked that more.
Bro, fuck CNN and these fake.
We'll talk about that.
All right.
But I'm shocked more people
just
haven't gotten
cowards.
on people for their rapper endorsements.
Well, you know what it is?
saying?
It's actually, you know what that feels like? It feels like almost like a disassociation. Like rappers are not aware of the power that they have.
Yes.
It feels.
You're not a painter.
It just
It's
feels like,
different.
bro, are you aware of who you are?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not.
I think that
Well, they don't wanna be.
It comes off like they're not. It's either you're absolutely unaware or you're in denial that you have that much pull.
You know what it is? You probably have experienced this. If you the Migos and you grew up in a certain part of Atlanta, around a bunch of brothers and sisters that look like you, they talk like you, you don't realize your influence till you go off to some far off country.
Yeah.
And there's some white dude in there with tattoos on his face and this double cut, whatever it is, it
Right.
dreads. Then you like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you realize how powerful your voice is. Because you
Yeah.
expect the people where you're from
Right.
to gravitate towards it and you to influence them. But when you go somewhere else and you see the power of your influence,
I feel like this. I feel like music, since the day it started, and this is like the message I really want to give. Music since the day it started has raised kids.
Of course.
Has helped raising kids. So I think what is going to start happening, what's going to be the turning point is a lot of these rappers are having kids. And I think a lot of these rappers, maybe not in an interview they would say, but I think a lot of these rappers would agree that they don't even want their kids living the lifestyle they're rapping about.
Absolutely.
So the truth is that, but you're raising kids all around the world. Now that you have
Absolutely.
one of your own, you're like, wait, maybe like if you got to tell your kid don't listen to my music, or if you do, just understand it's all rap and it's all entertainment. How convenient that your kid gets to have you in his ear, but the kids around the world don't. And so, you know, when kids all over the world are getting fucked up because they don't have you in your ear telling them it's not real, it's just wrestling, then
A lot of, but
What
you know,
about movies,
no,
though?
real quick though,
What
to
about
his point, a lot of artists don't get there. And what I mean by that is they don't get those 10-year runs to grow up and evolve
Sure.
like Jay-Z. Jay-Z
Yeah.
can give you 444.
that's why I love Jay-Z, because he made Kill
You know what I'm
Jay-Z.
saying? But he can do that. A lot
Yeah.
of guys don't last that long to
Yeah.
give you that.
Yeah.
At
no,
what
it's true.
point do we
but the
not
movie thing,
censor, right?
Well,
'Cause
I'll tell you the
we
thing
were
with
raised by
movies.
movies and TV.
Movies, the context of movies is it's acting.
Entertainment.
Hip hop, the context of hip hop is that it's
It's
supposed to
real.
be the truth.
100%, and they're different.
That's the
I do think they're
hip hop
different.
is not supposed to be acting. That's
Right.
what makes hip hop hip hop. It's supposed to be real. So if you're now saying, well, everyone should know hip hop is not real,
Right.
then now we're changing the essence of what hip hop is.
Yep.
Right.
So
Listen, do me a favor, Russ. When Shake the Snow Globe goes #1, right?
Yeah.
I want you to put on a white terry cloth
sure.
and just do like this on Instagram and say, I am Jesus.
I'm not mad at that. That's how it's going to
Piss
come out of my
people the
next
fuck
show.
off.
That's how it's going to come out of my next show.
I'm serious. I'm serious. That'll be
Which
crazy.
is fog at my feet.
Yeah. Yo,
That
good to
probably
see
won't
you,
go over
man.
well.
Good to see you. I'm
to
glad
see
you could
you.
pull up. I wanted to ask you about Kobe though, because I know, you know,
Yeah. I think people we talk about this a lot. When I say we, I just mean like my friends and my I always call them just like my counsel. Like we just talk about everything in group chat. But people like Kobe and people like Nipsey are legendary because of the legacy they leave behind, which is a mentality. A lot of people, a lot of artists who have passed away, will pass away, whatever, it's hard to honor them. If you look at a lot of artists right now, how would you honor a lot of these artists right now? If you look at the landscape of hip hop, what would you do to honor some of these people? And there's nothing to do. What, are you going to buy chains to honor them? Like, yo, in your honor, I'm buying a Patek today. It's like, okay, I guess. But, you know, when you look at Nipsey had the marathon continues.
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
real mentality. Like, something you can apply to your life. Everyone can apply it. An accountant
Absolutely.
in fucking Rancho Cucamonga could apply it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, you know, everything. Kobe, Mamba mentality,
Absolutely.
locked in, focused, lasered in, like,
Absolutely.
mentality. So I think for me, that's why like people like Kobe and Nipsey are the ones. Those are the people that do change the world because they impacted by leaving behind a mentality. Like, you know, I listen to Nipsey every day, but what I do more than listen to Nipsey songs, I listen to the mentality left behind. I live it. I honor him by like living it.
I can hear you talking about ownership. and-
Yeah, same with Kobe. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm going to try and do my best to be the best version of myself and stay going to the gym, which for me is my studio, and stay locked in.
Yeah.
But that's why I am like, I'm proud of myself that even the little amount of time that I've had the space to speak from, I've left behind a mentality. I've put out a book.
Yeah.
I've given people tools to, it's self-belief, it's manifesting, it's ownership. And so I know I've left a real mark. If I die today, I know there's a mentality left behind.
I mean, I'm a perfect example of it.
Yeah,
and you
right.
didn't even know I
Thank you so
existed.
much.
And
Yeah.
there's all these
No, I
comics
knew.
out here. No, I mean, like, you didn't know that you
I
influenced me like that.
Yeah.
And there's all these comics out here that they think I've influenced them, but that really came from you.
And that's a trickle effect. That's a domino effect.
But that
that's
when you talk
beautiful.
about mentality or religion or ideology, like
yeah,
it's so true. That's something that really does live on forever. I never thought about it in terms of we often think about legacy in terms of numbers, but it's not about numbers.
No,
it's about
it's how you-
Because stats can be broken.
No,
what is
it's
it?
how you-
Faith is
like,
in the
what do you
works
do
or
to-
something. What is that sentence?
Faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
So it's really the
Yeah.
work. It's like if you can pass on work, if you can pass on the action,
yeah, the mentality.
not
Yeah.
the end result.
No,
That really lives for as long as it's effective.
Yeah, because Kobe's
Yeah.
stats can be broken.
Fuck
No
this
one-
You know what I'm
stats.
saying?
I'm going to
Nipsey's-
the gym at 4:30.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the mentality.
I'm
Yeah.
not
That's what it
afraid of you.
is.
I'm going
Yeah.
at you
and I'm
because that's
gonna
my
and I'm gonna
mentality.
own
Yeah.
the gym, and I'm gonna. But it's the mentality you leave behind, and I encourage artists and just people in general to leave behind a mentality.
Have you thought about what your mentality would be called?
My mentality is do it yourself and self belief. That's what it really is, and that's why it's all in your head. Is that book to me? You know, I'm sorry to the fans of the music, but that book is more important than any song I've ever dropped because that book is my mentality in book format.
Yeah.
And so when I die, before you listen to any song of mine, read my belief system.
Yeah.
Because if you apply this to your life,
That's the religious text.
as opposed to just the songs,
Yeah.
that's going to help you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm leaving behind. That's why I feel like I can pat myself on the back because I did give back. I did contribute to the world. I left the world a better place than how I found it. And I feel like Nipsey left the world a better place than how he found it, and Kobe did. And a lot of these people, like I said, it's just, yeah, you bring joy to people with your music and that's cool, but, when you're gone, how do we honor you? We're going to go to the Gucci store. We're going to go buy a watch. And then like half of us can't do that. So then what do? We're just
We
going to
can
listen to your
all-
songs. It's like,
Smoke perp.
it's true.
No. Shake the snow globe out at midnight. My man, motherfucking Russ, man.
Yo, thank you so much for coming, man.
Nah,
This meant a
thank
lot
y'all
to
for
me. I'm
making
glad
this
we got
happen.
to meet.
Yeah, me
I
too.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nah, this is amazing. I'm
My
glad we
man.
made it happen.